Michigan at Spartan Stadium on an overcast and chilly afternoon. Today, an important Big Ten battle. Number 20, Nebraska and Michigan State. The Cornhuskers in control of their own destiny in the Big Ten's Legends Division. Tied with Michigan for one loss in conference play, but the Wolverines' only conference defeat was last week at Nebraska. Michigan State at 2-3 is alive to win the Legends Division, but the Spartans must win today. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Sean McDonough, along with Chris Spielman. We'll be joined in just a moment by Quint Kessenich. Delighted to have you with us as we get a look at the best offense in the Big Ten, Nebraska, and the best defense in the Big Ten in Michigan State. And when this dynamic Nebraska offense is on the field, it's led by Taylor Martinez, the quarterback, having an excellent junior year.
Yeah, he really is much improved. And you talk about where the improvement come from. So obviously, it's a little bit of technique. He did a lot of work in the offseason. But the biggest improvement comes in trust in where he's throwing the football. Take a look right here. It's a well-designed play against Wisconsin. They're going to clear the middle. And here's what I'm talking about trust. He's going to throw the ball to an area as opposed to a man, knowing that his receiver is going to work to that open area, and he delivers the ball before the receivers are out of the cut. That's the biggest difference between Taylor Martinez this year and last year, and it's the reason why he has 16 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions.
He's in charge of a Nebraska offense that leads the conference with 39 points per game. The Huskers also number 1 in the Big Ten in rushing offense and total offense. Michigan State best in the conference in rush defense, total defense, and scoring defense. The Spartans giving up just 15 points per game, one of the best in the country. The problem for them, as they've been a disappointing 5-4 this year, is the offense has been one of the worst in the country.
Yeah, a lack of big plays, and where a big play can come from is you need Le'Veon Bell, who started the year out strong, has struggled a little bit. Where's he struggled? He does not break any tackles. Mark D'Antonio, the head coach, talked about it this week in the newspaper. He's got to learn how to run through smoke. I mean, make his own holes. He's a big guy at 240 pounds. He's got to have some explosion plays for Michigan State to be in this football game.
The calendar has flipped to November, and we have the weather to match. 37 degrees as we approach kickoff. Very little wind here at Spartan Stadium under cloudy skies, and the forecast is for it to remain this way, perhaps to inch up into the low 40s. 7th meeting all time between these two schools. And Michigan State has never defeated Nebraska. Huskers 6-0 all-time against Sparty, including a win in Lincoln last year in the Huskers' first year as a member of the Big Ten. One-sided victory, 24-3 for Nebraska. Mark D'Antonio, the coach of the Spartans, said it was really the one Big Ten game last year where they were never really in it. Pretty well handled from start to finish by Nebraska. Mark's in his 6th season here. The back-to-back 11-win seasons the previous 2. First coach ever to have back-to-back 11-win seasons at Michigan State, and a terrific record in the month of November, 13-3, including undefeated in this month the last 2 seasons. And Bo Pelini, terrific as the Nebraska head coach in November as well. 12-4 is his record when it gets to that time of the year when you start deciding championships.
Well, a lot of that depends on health. Everybody's hurting now. But if I'm looking at Bo Pelini's offense, I really like what I'm seeing because of Taylor Martinez, who's going to start the game. But the dual threat and the improvement he has thrown the football, outstanding, and they have big play wide receivers that are explosive after catch.
Michigan State won the toss and deferred. Mark D'Antonio will get that great defense on the field first, so Nebraska will receive as Kevin Muma kicks off. And we're underway in East Lansing. Booming boot through the back of the end zone. Over the head of Jamal Turner. Here's Quint Kessenich down on the sideline.
Guys, you take a look around the stadium, it's like the invasion of the Cornhuskers. Nebraska traveling really well. You go back 2 weeks ago at Northwestern when the home team, Northwestern, had to use a silent count. Earlier this week, a lot of Nebraska fans buying tickets online for as low as $6 a ticket to log on to their Facebook site, the Michigan State Facebook site, encouraging fans to come out and support the team. He said, we need you in your seat pregame with your game face on. But everywhere you look and during warm-ups, there's a chant, go Big Red.
And the fans apparently have not responded to that Facebook message from Coach D'Antonio this week. There are a lot of empty seats. at game time, but might be some stragglers who are still enjoying the tailgate. Taylor Martinez incomplete in the flat, intended for the tight end Kyler Reed, one of the best pass-catching tight ends in the history of Nebraska football. Martinez, a junior, third-year starter, and on his way to setting all kinds of records. Matter of fact, he needs just 114 yards of offense today to tie the all-time leader in Nebraska in that category, the great Heisman Trophy winner Eric Crouch. He'll become the all-time leading passer as well by the time he's done with this season. Steps up to throw, a wobbler incomplete. Intended for Quincy Enunwa and broken up by Johnny Adams, one of the best cornerbacks in the country.
Makes Michigan State's defense so strong as they're able to play man-to-man and match up. They were worried about Taylor Martinez running a draw, but that time Max Bulla had that covered. Taylor Martinez was forced to throw into coverage.
He's an improved thrower, 66% this season as compared to 56 last year. Improved his mechanics, which can be a little shaky from time to time, and that pass is way off the mark. And a quick 3 and out, as it was intended for Enunwa. And the coverage by Curtis Drummond, the starting safety. So Andrew Maxwell, the Michigan State quarterback, getting ready for his first possession, as Brett Maher comes on to punt. He doubles as the place kicker for Nebraska. Big Ten place kicker and punter of the year last year. Andre Sims back for the kick. Not a good one. Shank to the left. And out of bounds along the Michigan State sideline. Shy of midfield. They're going to mark it at the Nebraska 41-yard line. A 16-yard punt. Maher, very talented, but Bo Pelini told us last night he's had a bit of an inconsistent year, and that's the downside.
Well, you wouldn't ask for a better start if you're Michigan State, a 3 and out. And when you're a struggling offense, the one thing you wish for in the opening drive is great field position.
Here's Andrew Maxwell, the junior, first-year starter from Midland, Michigan. He told us yesterday it's about 80 miles northeast of here. Opens with Le'Veon Bell, the running back, and Bell ahead for about 3. That's one of the things the coaches have been imploring Bell to do, particularly early in the game. Go north and south. He's been a bit prone to trying to bounce, and it hasn't helped him when he goes east and west.
Well, one of the problems is that they haven't had the same offensive line together all year. This was the first week that they had 5 guys practice 5 days in a row together, which should help this offense as far as running the football.
They've lost their starting center and starting right tackle for the season due to injury. Travis Jackson and Prue Finoti respectively. Good pass, good catch. Keith Mumphrey close to a first down at the Nebraska 31-yard line. Damian Stafford, the safety, second leading tackler for the Huskers, made the stop.
Well, Maxwell can throw the football, and where he's most accurate, Sean, is in that 8 to 15-yard range. Where he has trouble this year so far has been those explosive plays over 20 yards. But right there, a nice throw on the run, getting those shoulders squared to his target and delivering one on target.
Averaging 224 yards per game passing. First down, Michigan State. They're 108th in the country in scoring at 19 points per game. Benny Fowler on the end around. Flag down near the line of scrimmage. Fowler out of bounds at the 20 with an 11-yard gain and a first down if it stands. Bill Lamagnier is the referee leading this Big Ten officiating crew.
Holding, number 16 offense, 10 yards spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
See Aaron Burridge right here, the true freshman. Struggled last week. He looks like he has his hands inside and nice, and that's a tough call. Usually they let that go if those hands are inside. Tough break. Grabbed a little, maybe too much cloth.
And when you're a struggling offense, these are the things that happen to set you back. Instead of first down at the 20, it's first down 15, back at the 38-yard line. 2 minutes in, no score. Maxwell incomplete off the hands of a Nebraska defender. Andrew Green, part of a rotation at cornerback, got a hand on it, intended for Aaron Burbridge.
Rare mistake by Andrew Maxwell, misreading the coverage. Nebraska rarely breaks down in the back end. They had a breakdown right there. Deion Sims was sitting all alone 20 yards from the line of scrimmage. What that tells me is Andrew Maxwell had in his mind where he was going to throw the ball before the ball was snapped.
Maxwell's taken some of the criticism for this disappointing 9 games to this point for Michigan State. They were number 13 in the country in the preseason polls. Maxwell throws to the far sideline, caught by the freshman Burbridge out of bounds at the 31-yard line. And Andrew Maxwell took that in stride, Chris. We talked to him yesterday. Said, hey, comes with the territory. When you're a quarterback on an offense that's struggling, you're going to take the heat. I understand that. I try not to pay any attention to it.
Well, he's been victimized too, Sean. They had a 3-game stretch where his receivers had 18 drops, which certainly affected his completion percentage. But he does have the ability, and he's still a young quarterback learning how to read defenses. They expect him to prove, and today would be a good day if you're a Spartan fan to get him going.
Well, the offensive line upheaval is hurt, drops by the receivers, inconsistent running game. Maxwell on 3rd and 10, nowhere near receiver. Closest again to Andrew Green, the cornerback. So the penalty really hurt the Spartans. And the field goal team is going to come out. Dan Conroy, senior from Wheaton, Illinois. He's kicked 16 field goals this year. He's 9th in the country in field goals made. But in a season of very close games, he's had some costly misses. Missed a 42-yarder against Ohio State, even though he made 3 in that game. They lost the tight one there, and he missed one against Michigan in a 2-point loss. This one is hooking and no good. Looked like a little bit of trouble with the hold, and the 49-yarder hooks wide left.
Bad hold, bad snap equals a pull.
No score. The ball goes back to Pelini's Huskers when we come back. Well, Michigan State did not capitalize on a 16-yard punt by Brett Maher of Nebraska. Chris Tabor-Pepper, the freshman snapper, a little low, but the holder got it down.
Yeah, Zeller did a good job of getting that in position, but the timing's messed up when the snap's a little bit low. Coming back now, looking at Nebraska, first 3 plays, throwing the ball, they're going to try to get something going on the ground.
Amir Abdullah turns the corner. Has a first down and gets run out of bounds at the 46-yard line by Johnny Adams. A gain of 15 and the first down of the game for Nebraska. Here's their impact players, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Amir Abdullah can get it going on the ground. Kenny Bell, very explosive after catch, and on defense, watch Eric Martin, who will create havoc.
Swung out to Kenny Bell, their best wide receiver. Tackled immediately by Curtis Drummond. Should be fun to watch. Pat Narduzzi, the defensive coordinator for Michigan State, said Nebraska has the best receivers they've played this year, and Michigan State has a terrific secondary.
They certainly do, Sean. They put a lot of the pressure on their corners to get up and take receivers out of the game, so the safeties can become very active against the run.
Loss of a yard. Pistol formation for Martinez. Here's Abdullah again. Nice cut to the inside, and he stumbles to the first down and then some. The Michigan State 40. William Golston credited with the tackle.
The former walk-on Justin Jackson, the center. Anytime you can have a center that can pull out number 72 and get a lead kick-out block on a defensive back, gives your offense a chance to get the edge.
And 3 walk-ons on that starting offensive line. Jackson, the center, and both guards. Ben Cotton, the tight end, with a catch to the 34. Very quick tempo here. Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator, yesterday said one thing they're going to try to do against this talented Michigan State team is really play at a lightning fast tempo. Here's Martinez, great runner. Shoved out of bounds by Johnny Adams at the 21. 1st and 10 Nebraska after a 13-yard run by Martinez.
So you see the speed of Taylor Martinez running stride for stride with Johnny Adams, but a good decision not to take an unnecessary hit. That's something Tim Beck also told us that Taylor needs to work on. Go out of bounds or get down. He's too valuable to this offense to take any unnecessary hits.
He was limping last week. His left ankle bothering him in their win at home against Michigan. Said he was a little sore early in the week, but felt better late this week in practice. They are again without Rex Burkhead, their outstanding running back who's been bothered by a sprained knee and is unlikely to play today. Abdullah, fake to him, and it's Martinez. Close to another first down with a flag down right in the middle of the line of scrimmage. Denikos Allen and Mitchell White made the stop for Michigan State.
Right in the area of holding. I think they'll get number 62, Cole Pensick.
Holding. Offense. Number 62. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Well, they're a heavily penalized team. They overcame 104 yards in penalties last week to beat Michigan, their second game this year with more than 100 yards in penalties.
And even though they had a holding there, Sean, right there, they exposed Michigan State a little bit, and they're starting to win that battle up front against that big defensive line of the Spartans.
Good Nebraska offensive line. The handoff to Jamal Turner, and he's dropped for a loss by Max Bulla, leading tackler for the Spartans for the second year in a row, and one of the 12 semifinalists for the Butkus Award as the best linebacker in the country.
And he's certainly capable of winning that award. He's outstanding. A lot of his credit goes to the film. A lot of guys watch film, but Max Bulla develops his instincts off the film, and you can see that when he plays the game.
Coaches were telling us, and Max confirmed it, he can't watch film from last year. He told us this, I think I was terrible in every game last year. I can't watch it. Martinez throws an interception right to Curtis Drummond, the safety, as if he was the intended receiver. And Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator last night, said the most important thing is we have to be sound and protect the football. And Martinez with a careless interception.
Well, first of all, Marcus Rush, number 44, is going to be able to get the pressure. Taylor Martinez has a bad read on this. This is something that he has not done all year. He has Kenny Bell right there at the 30, and he tries to force the football down the field, but Marcus Rush, I think, delivers a nice blow to disrupt the release of the ball. And on the spot, big turnover for the Spartan defense. That's why they're number 1 in the Big Ten.
Second interception of the year for Drummond, sophomore. Maxwell under center now at his own 32. Le'Veon Bell, the running back, and 3 wide receivers. Incomplete pass, looking for Aaron Burbridge. Tightly covered, and then a very late flag thrown just now hitting the ground. Apparently for pass interference against Stanley Jean-Baptiste.
Jean-Baptiste is actually in good position on the initial pre-snap look. He's taken away the inside, but Burbridge still beats him the inside, and Jean-Baptiste, the converted wide receiver, is huge for a corner. 6'3", 210 pounds.
Defense, number 16. Spot foul. Ball be placed at the 45-yard line. First down.
This alignment right here, Sean. He's inside trying to take it away, and Burbridge does a good job of selling outside, working back to the inside. He's in good position, but the left arm gave him the hook, and he got the hook with the flag.
You mentioned his size. He was a wide receiver. Last year they moved him over during the year. They think he is a star in the making. Plays the boundary corner, 13 yards on the penalty. Bell stopped after a gain of 1. Jean-Baptiste up there around the line of scrimmage to make the tackle. Well, it's going to be Bell, and almost exclusively Bell if they give it to a running back. He started the day with 247 carries. All other running backs on their team had 39 combined.
That's kind of been the history of Michigan State, even going back when Mark D'Antonio in his early years. Javon Ringer used to have a ton of carries. It's just what they do.
Well, Edwin Baker last year, who would spell Bell from time to time. He's now in the NFL. Bell spins forward. Le'Veon averaging 118 rushing yards per game, 4th in the Big Ten and 15th in the nation.
There's not a lot of room to run, and we watched the film yesterday. I just didn't see that push that you normally see from a physical Spartan offensive line. They're not really changing the line of scrimmage like they have in the past.
Bell comes out on 3rd down and 8, even though he is a good pass receiver. Tied for 2nd on their team in receptions with 29. 4 wide receivers. That's the tight end Deion Sims in motion. 4-man rush. Maxwell throws, caught. Nice grab in traffic by the talented Sims, who's been hampered for a lot of this year by a sprained ankle. 1st down.
What an athlete at 285 pounds. Deion Sims running up the seam, working on Corey Cooper. And good throw by Maxwell, throwing to the back shoulder away from coverage. That's the connection that you want to have and you work on in practice, where the receiver understands where the ball's coming before it's being thrown. He worked his hips around to make a great catch with his hands.
10-yard gain, 1st and 10. Back to the run with Bell. He's down at the 39-yard line. Pickup before. Sean Fisher made the tackle, the senior linebacker, who had his best game of the year last week against Michigan, according to the coaches. Had 7 tackles. Young man who's battled some injuries during his time. Perfect 4.0 student in business administration, wants to go to medical school.
And probably one of the tallest inside linebackers you'll see at 6'6".
They may seek a 6th year of eligibility for him because of all the injuries. Inside handoff, Maxwell to Le'Veon Bell, trying to find some room. He dances down to the 36-yard line. Will Compton, the leading tackler on the year for Nebraska, made the stop.
That's the perfect example that Mark D'Antonio was talking about. Le'Veon going east and west or north and south. Take a look right here. Right now, hit it right up in there. You have a north and south hole, and while you're dancing, I don't know. You find that safety, you lower your pads, and you run him over. That's what Mark is trying to get out of him. That's not what he's getting from him, though, right now, early on.
5 carries for 12 yards for Bell, junior from Reynoldsburg, Ohio. Here's a 3rd down and 3. Just on the fringe of field goal range for Dan Conroy. It's the 49-yarder earlier.
Going to Deion again. Big target.
Plenty of time for Andrew Maxwell, and another 1st down. They convert on 3rd and 3. Benny Fowler, the reception, 11-yard gain. He caught the game-winning touchdown pass from Maxwell in overtime last week at Wisconsin.
It's all about tendencies. You know Nebraska's going to be man-to-man. Deion Sims comes across the line of scrimmage and across the field, throws a nice little pick where Benny Fowler's coming from the other side, knocking off the man coverage. Easy conversion for Michigan State.
The Spartan coaches told us yesterday, last year at Nebraska, their receivers had a very tough time getting open against the physical press coverage of the Cornhuskers. Bell in trouble again and gets swarmed under for a loss of 1. Back to the 26-yard line.
Watching this Nebraska defense on film, one thing they do well is swarm. Good speed, good athletes. Had trouble against 2 teams stopping a run. Got that fixed a little bit because they're getting their safeties involved against UCLA and Ohio State, who kind of burned them on the ground.
Well, they had 2 really bad games on defense. Those 2 that you mentioned. UCLA out in LA scored 36 in a 36-30 win over Nebraska. The only other loss for the Huskers this year was at Ohio State, 63-38. Nick Hill comes in at running back. Maxwell down the sideline and almost caught by Aaron Burbridge. Stanley Jean-Baptiste, the coverage. And it is pronounced Jean-Baptiste, by the way. For a while, he's been called Jean-Baptiste. He told the Husker Sports Administration staff that it is Jean-Baptiste.
Jean or Jean. Jean right there does a good job of keeping his look and lean technique in place, not putting his hands or interfering with the wide receiver, trusting the hands of the receiver going up. He turns his head and knocks the ball away. Outstanding man-to-man coverage and technique by Jean-Baptiste.
There's another third down. They've converted a couple on this drive. Third down and 11. They are in field goal range. Nebraska brings 5. Maxwell throws incomplete. Looking for Benny Fowler, and there is another flag. Deontay Evans had coverage.
When you're going to see this play, you're going to see where Evans does not need to put his left hand on him.
It didn't look like it was going to be catchable, but it did look like there was some contact. The officials are talking about it.
Pass interference. Defense number 17. Spot foul. Automatic. First down.
Second pass interference penalty on this drive.
This is where you have to trust your technique, Sean. He's in great position. He's taking away the inside. He's playing the upfield shoulder. See that left hand doesn't need to be there. He's in perfect position. Just trust your training and go up and play the receiver's hands. Guys get nervous out there when they're on an island. I'm telling you.
And the coaches rave about Deontay Evans. Nickel back and corner. Injured player Dan France, starting left tackle for Michigan State, been bothered by a knee problem the last couple of weeks and also concussions. He did not start the last 2 games. Donovan Clark, who struggled last week at Wisconsin, has come in for him, number 76. Clark started but got a quick hook up in Madison. Maxwell running out of time. Throws off the hands of Bell. Jean-Baptiste looked like he mistimed his leap and it hit Bell in the hands, but he couldn't haul it in.
It's all about guys just missing the football. Guys with reliable hands. Jean-Baptiste, former wide receiver, can go up and catch the ball. Le'Veon Bell's going to sneak out from the backfield and run a little bit of a wheel route. Good recovery by Jean-Baptiste, and he just mistimed his leap. And Le'Veon Bell, normally reliable hands, another missed opportunity. It's kind of been a microcosm of Michigan State's year right there.
Second and 10 from the 11. Inside handoff to Bell. Breaks the tackle and scores. That's his longest run in the last 3 games. The pass interference penalties really hurt Nebraska. And the Huskers trail 6-0 with Dan Conroy's extra point to come. He's made 72 PATs in a row, now 73. And that's 3 shy of the Michigan State school record. "68 yards in 10 plays after the interception by Curtis Drummond, and Bell scored the touchdown. Just a short drive down Michigan Avenue from the Michigan State campus in East Lansing, the Michigan State Capitol in neighboring Lansing. Le'Veon Bell had 11 yards for the game before his 11-yard touchdown run put Sparty ahead.
First of all, he's going to get a kick out right here by McDonald, but here's what we're talking about. Not east and west, north and south. One cut and hit it north and south. When he does that, that's when he's most effective, and what do you know? He's doing what he's coached to do. He gets 6 points.
9th rushing touchdown of this season. Evan Numa kicks off. End over end line drive. Jamal Turner will take it in. 4:28 to go in the first quarter. Michigan State 7 and Nebraska nothing. Sean McDonough, Chris Spielman, Quint Kesnick. Back in East Lansing, Michigan. Spartans leading 7-0. They took advantage of a turnover. And then a couple of Nebraska pass interference penalties. And Taylor Martinez and the Huskers trailed by a touchdown. They start from their own 25. Amir Abdullah Yes, he's only 5'9", 185 pounds, but you can see when you watch him play, and the coaches confirm it, he is strong and explosive.
Yeah, and he's a good inside runner, and you know, you would think they would miss that without Rex Burkhead, but they don't miss a beat, in my opinion, when Amir Abdullah is toting the rock.
Sophomore from Homewood, Alabama. Gain of 12 on first down for Nebraska. Been a big key to their success this year. They average 7.5 yards for the season on first down. And here goes Martinez on first down. Off to the races. Darquez Denard took advantage of the slight angle to run down Martinez inside the 5-yard line. 60-yard run for Taylor. First and goal, Nebraska.
Well, what a good read on the defensive end by Taylor Martinez. When you have number 62, Pensick, coming in, leading the way, getting a block on the safety. And this is something you won't see very often. Denard does a good job of chasing down the speedy Martinez. But it's all about reading the proper read, deciding to keep it instead of hand it off. Big play, Nebraska.
Officially a 59-yard run as they mark it at the 4. First and goal. Abdullah swung down to the line of scrimmage by Anthony Rashad White, senior nose tackle. 330-pounder. You wonder if Martinez might have scored if his ankle was a little bit sore, because we've seen him run the last few years, and he's just about as fast as anybody with the ball in his hand.
That's the first time, Sean, I've seen him walked. I mean, I've never seen him walk before. He was walked by Denard.
Second and goal, 3 minutes to go in the quarter. Abdullah. Well, this is clearly a spot, even though Abdullah is strong for a guy who's 185 pounds, where they miss Burkhead. He has the knack in short yardage and goal line situations for scoring and picking up first down.
They had a formation where they lined Burkhead up at quarterback under center. He would fake through a tailback and a fullback, turn around and follow him. That was a big goal line play for them against Ohio State, where they scored some touchdowns. Certainly don't have that ability. You see Rex right there wishing he could play.
Well, still only about 75% with a sprained knee, and they've tried it a couple of times this year when he hasn't been 100%. It really hasn't worked well. He's had setbacks, so Bo says he's going to wait till he's 100%. Amani Cross, powerfully built. True freshman running back in at tailback, but first a timeout. A huge third and goal upcoming from the 2. While we have a moment, we remind you tonight on ABC's Saturday Night Football, national championship hopes on the line for Kansas State as the Wildcats host number 24 Oklahoma State. K-State number 2 in the BCS standings. It's Saturday Night Football presented by Windows 8 tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. And right now, Colin Klein seems to be the runaway leader in the race for the Heisman Trophy. A chance on national TV to enhance that candidacy tonight.
Talking about a guy improving his arm accuracy, Colin Klein has done that, a true dual threat. We'll see if Kansas State can handle prosperity. People are starting to notice they were a quiet team. Now they know, everybody knows who they are, where they are, and how they play.
Coach Snyder, if anybody could keep a team focused on the task at hand, it would be Bill Snyder.
And quiet.
And they come out with a different formation now after the timeout. Back to the spread instead of the I formation they showed prior to the timeout. And that might have caught Michigan State off guard. As the Spartans use the timeout, not the right personnel out there. And we're pleased to welcome in for the first of, we hope, many visits today, Robert Flores back in the studio.
That's right, Sean. I'm going to be here all day. So live with that. Taco Bell studio update. Carlos Hyde, after Ohio State spotted Illinois in early lead, he plunges in from in close. Buckeyes leading 7-6 on ESPN.
Should be a walkover for your alma mater, Chris, you would think, today, but some tough games left for the undefeated Buckeyes down the stretch. They still have to go to Wisconsin, of course, the annual battle with Michigan, which is in Columbus right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, the one thing they've done is they've played down to their competition and they've played up to their competition. They've learned their lessons while they're winning now.
Third down and goal at the 2. Taylor Martinez looks to the sidelines for help. Abdullah, touchdown. Good call by Tim Beck and well executed by the Huskers, and they're an extra point away from a tie.
It's all about matchups. Kenny Bell right here is going to run Denard off, number 80. Abdullah's working one-on-one against Allen, number 28. Not a matchup. It's almost a little bit of a pick, and Abdullah has the speed and quickness to find the corner of the end zone. And a deliverable, catchable ball by Martinez allows Abdullah to catch it in stride to score.
Abdullah's second receiving touchdown of the year. Here's Brett Maher to tie it. Jace Dean, the holder. P.J. Mangieri's fourth season as their snapper. They all execute. With 2:07 to go in the opening quarter. It's 7-7. Brett Maher's kickoff came down to Kyler Ellsworth. And he brings it out to the 17-yard line. Go back and take a look at the tying touchdown by the Cornhuskers.
Watch Kenny Allen work inside, working one-on-one with Johnny Adams. He's going to get the pick right there on Allen, leaving Abdullah space to work. Taylor Martinez looks off the other way. You see Allen get caught behind the pick, and Abdullah with an easy 6. Well-designed play by Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator of Nebraska.
Nebraska coaches were telling us a lot of kids in Lincoln on Halloween were dressed as Kenny Bell. Very popular player. And coaches been hearing a lot of throw it to the throw as they travel around Lincoln. I don't know how he gets a helmet on, although I do have hair envy, as is so often the case. Here's Le'Veon Bell. Out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So Dan Rochar, the offensive coordinator, talking about the need to break some runs, and they're starting to today. This is good for 24.
Well, one thing Le'Veon can do is get one step and making a move. He had Andrew Green, number 11, in position to make a tackle at the line of scrimmage, but the big fella gave him a leg and took it away. Fooled Mr. Green.
There's Dan Rochar. Like Andrew Maxwell, he's taking a lot of heat here locally for the struggles of the offense. Of course, he was the same guy who coordinated the offense last year when they won 11 games. He goes into the bag of tricks. Benny Fowler shoved out of bounds in Nebraska territory at the 48. Run out by Damian Stafford. The gain of 12 and a first down for Michigan State.
I love the play calling of Rochar. You just mentioned it. Again, they're mixing and matching, and once they get Le'Veon going, the defense has to count for him. So now you have plays like reverses to Fowler that go ahead and take advantage of an over-pursuing defense because they're all going to Bell.
Last week's game-winning touchdown, a big boost to Benny Fowler. You mentioned the drops earlier in the year, Chris, and Fowler had a couple of key drops in their losses to Ohio State and Notre Dame. Bell staggers ahead to the 45. Will Compton made the tackle. And the coaches are also hoping that last drive at Wisconsin, they were down 10-3 in the fourth quarter last week in Madison, and Maxwell drove them 75 yards in about 5 minutes. They scored on a shovel pass with 1:08 to go, and Andrew was 8 out of 9 on that drive that forced it into overtime, and they wound up winning on his pass to Fowler in the overtime.
And the most impressive pass was in the overtime to Fowler, which was a back shoulder throw, which is a very difficult throw to make, and he put it right on target, and Benny did a good job of adjusting his hips to seal the victory.
2nd and 8. Maxwell hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Tony Lippett, the intended receiver. Eric Martin, their best, most dynamic pass rusher off the edge, delivered the hit.
Well, this is why we put him in impact players right there. Just a quick inside move. And if you look at Michigan State's offensive line, where do they struggle? They struggle at the tackle position in pass protection. When you have speed, offensive tackles are often afraid of a guy coming inside. He set him up beautiful with a stick and swim. I love the stick and swim. Final seconds of the opening quarter in this Big Ten battle.
Nebraska trying to stay in command in the Legends division. Maxwell's pass behind Tony Lippett. Andrew Green had the coverage. 4th down and 8, and looks like Mark D'Antonio sent the punt team out as Andrew Maxwell's thrown 4 straight incomplete passes.
You see, that's what I don't understand, because he's certainly capable of making the throw. You have an easy throw. The slant throw is an easy throw to make. You have to put the ball on the numbers. You don't put it behind him, especially when he has him boxed out. He had the defensive back boxed out perfectly for the 1st down. Just a missed opportunity again.
Sadler punts over the head of Tim Marlowe, and they cannot down it. One of the best recruiting classes in the nation once again. John Calipari's Kentucky Wildcats are reloaded. They try to defend the national championship. Don't miss our exclusive multi-part series coverage of one of the top basketball programs in the country, All Access Kentucky. Wednesdays at 7 on ESPN. Of course, here in East Lansing, they're excited about another season of Spartan basketball. Tom Izzo's squad had an exhibition game here last night.
Yeah, it didn't look very good, though.
No.
They struggled a little bit on the free throw line. Coach Izzo will address that problem. He's a man that pays attention to detail.
He's here today. His wife Lupe and their family. Amir Abdullah will be the last play of the first quarter, a 1-yard gain. Juan Jones and Marcus Rush made the tackle. Well, as we expected, a defensive struggle between these two very good defensive teams. Tied at 7 after 1 quarter in East Lansing, Michigan. We welcome you back to East Lansing, Michigan. Michigan State and Nebraska Big Ten battle. 7-7 after 1 quarter. Sean McDonough, Chris Spielman, Quint Kesselnick. Our producer, Bo Garrett, and our director, Mike Schwab. Taylor Martinez now 36 yards away from becoming the all-time leader in Nebraska in total offense. We'll pass the great Eric Crouch. 2nd and 9, first play of the second quarter. Kenny Bell trying to shake Johnny Adams, and he could not. Out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Actually, the rule of inbounds, and the clock keeps moving as we look at the Pacific Life game summary. And stats from the first quarter, an edge in yards to Nebraska. Edge in time of possession for Michigan State. Hard to believe with their offensive woes this year that Michigan State is actually number 1 in the Big Ten in time of possession for the year. Good throw by Martinez and a nice catch by Tim Marlowe, the senior from Youngstown, Ohio. Just his 4th catch of the year, as he's appeared in only 3 games due to a broken clavicle. 15-yard gain.
There's confidence in your arm right there. Taylor Martinez in years past would have tucked it and run. That time he trusted receiver to get open. He trusted his arm.
High formation. C.J. Zimmerer, the fullback, leading the way for Amir Abdullah, and Will Golston made the tackle right off the line of scrimmage. Golston had a monster game at Wisconsin last week. 4.5 tackles for a loss. He's a great talent, Chris, but he's one of those guys who shows up only sporadically.
Yeah, William has the ability to be as good as he wants to do, and he can change a game on his own, but he also disappears at times, as you said. It's interesting, Sean. Nebraska has 115 rushing yards. Michigan State gives up 91 yards a game. They had 115 in the first quarter.
The one long run to Nebraska by Martinez, the 59-yarder to set up the touchdown. Abdullah slices ahead for a couple. Micajah Reynolds and Tyler Hoover, a couple of backup interior defensive linemen in there, made the tackle.
Here we go. 3rd and 8. This is good on good. Receiver against corner. Coverage versus receivers. Michigan State, no doubt, will get up and challenge them man-to-man. We'll find out who wins the battle.
Darquez Denard matched up against Kenny Bell. Play clock at 3 and movement. Right tackle Andrew Rodriguez
Ball
Part of a
start.
3-tackle rotation.
63 offense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
He comes in at right tackle as a backup. They switch the starting right tackle, Jeremiah Searles, over to the left side.
Denekas Allen was coming on a blitz right there, and he started toward the line of scrimmage, and Rodriguez got a little antsy because he's worried about getting beat with speed off the corner.
Now a 3rd down and 13. A blitz. Martinez in trouble. He's going to try to throw it now, and it's incomplete. And there's a flag down. It was off the hands of Tim Marlowe, with Isaiah Lewis, the safety, chasing him. You mentioned he's had a broken clavicle, and you wonder if he's re-injured himself on the far sideline.
Well, I think they're going to nail Marcus Rush, number 44, for roughing the passer.
Personal foul. Defense, number 27. High hit. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Correction, that was the 27, Curtis Drummond.
Crowd just saw the replay you're about to see on the screen. As you can tell, they didn't like it. Looked like Justin Jackson, the center, also got away with a little holding there. It is still football, is it not?
Yeah, boy, I'll tell you, that's a tough call.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You see, and Drummond's just coming in, making a play, and when you look at it, Sean, it looks like he's trying to pull up and avoid the contact. And I don't know if he.
Well, they said a high hit.
Yeah. Well, you're allowed to hit high. I guess you're not allowed to hit to the neck or the helmet, and it didn't look like that to me.
Perhaps he hit him in the helmet. With the helmet, Marlowe's back on his feet. Crowd still upset. Looked like a busted play. Martinez got a couple. Micajah Reynolds, Denekas Allen made the tackle. Let's go look at the penalty once again.
Yeah, I guess he did catch him in the chin.
Yeah, it looked like it was just about face mask to face mask as you see it again. I'd say that's a good call.
Yeah.
You can see Martinez's head snap back.
Nothing deliberate or intentional about the hit, but that's the rules. You got to know and you got to avoid it.
So as we said all along, a very good call. Here Abdul, the ball carrier. You should know when Bill LeMonnier is on the field, they're going to get it right the vast majority of the time. He is one of the best in the business, has worked a lot of big games over a terrific career.
That's it. And, you know, sometimes it's frustrating because you want to avoid the intentional hits. And guys are just playing football and they try to pull up and they touch the helmet. That's where the rules are the rules, but it's just frustrating for players sometimes because they're trying to avoid the penalty.
The emphasis on preventing concussions, they're going to call that every time. Again, movement. Again, Andrew Rodriguez moving ahead of the
Ball
snap.
start. 63 offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Bo's intense. Former
The sideline took a penalty last week for unsportsmanlike conduct. Bo Pelini looking up at the screen. They're showing a replay, and whatever the point he was making apparently was confirmed by what he saw on the scoreboard up here, the big screen. Michael Dulce, the head linesman, not persuaded. 3rd down and 11. Already 5 penalties against Nebraska. We're only 4 minutes into the second quarter. 5-man rush. Martinez, beautiful throw and a catch by Kenny Bell. Denekas Allen trying to strip the ball, and he finally wrestles him down at the 17-yard line. 33 yards, first down, Huskers.
Well, this is where he hit it in the pregame, that Taylor Martinez trusts his wide receivers, and opposed to waiting for a guy to come open, he's going to trust he's going to come open as Kenny Bell runs straight down the seam, beats Denekas Allen, who's supposed to carry him, and he's throwing to the spot. The biggest difference between last year Taylor Martinez and this year Taylor Martinez.
Taylor's now the all-time leader in total offense at Nebraska. He's moved past Eric Crouch, and he gets smothered by Marcus Rush, sophomore from Cincinnati out of the great Moeller program. his second sack of the season.
Well, Marcus Rush will hit him with a swim move, comes inside because he has Norman, the outside linebacker, coming from the outside. He hits with a stick swim inside. Rodriguez is confused of which guy to block. Always block the most dangerous guy. That's the inside pass rusher. Leave the outside guy alone. Let the quarterback take care of him.
Loss of 10. Tim Marlowe has come back on the field for Nebraska. Martinez is still the all-time leader in offense, even with that sack. He pulls it down and takes off up the middle. And banged down inside the 15 by Denikos Allen, the junior linebacker from Hamilton, Ohio, their second leading tackler on the team behind Max Bullock.
Well, what a pain for a defense to deal with. Taylor Martinez, when he makes his mind up to run, he has a nice little burst, along with Denard Robinson, Braxton Miller, probably the most dangerous dual threat quarterback in the Big Ten, right up there with those two.
Mike D'Antonio compared Martinez to those two. Of course, Michigan State lost to both Ohio State and Michigan. Third down 6. Martinez throws, and it's dropped. Uncharacteristic drop by Kenny Bell with Johnny Adams in coverage. Might have been a touchdown to be held on.
Well, again, you're right, Sean. Kenny Bell, 9 times out of 10, makes this catch. Taylor Martinez again throwing to the spot. And Johnny Adams coming in late, getting beat inside, but never quitting on the play.
There's a 30-yard field goal try now by Brett Maher, senior from Kearney, Nebraska, former walk-on. And he missed it. Chip shot, wide right. Well, he's a talented guy. Bo Pelini said yesterday he's had an inconsistent year, and we've seen that in evidence here today. Still tied at 7. Just under 9 minutes to go in the first half. Here's a look at today's trivia question. Only 3 players in college football history have thrown for 5,000 yards and rushed for 2,500 or more prior to their senior season. And it's topical today because Taylor Martinez has a chance to do that before the year is over. This is junior year. Want to know who are those 3 players? Did you cheat again this week, or are you going to honestly and ethically hazard a guess? Andrew Maxwell handed it off to Le'Veon Bell, who had for about 3 before he got yanked back by Baker, Steinkuhler, and Will Compton.
I got an idea.
You got to share it with us?
I got to believe Denard Robinson has to be close to that.
You are wrong, trivia breath.
That's why I said I got to believe that he's not close to that. That's what I meant.
Taylor Martinez, another 122 rushing yards, and he'll be at that 5,000, 2,500 double. Maxwell doesn't run much. He can. The coaches have told him to take off and run from time to time. Give the defenses something else to think about. Le'Veon Bell to the 29. Andrew Maxwell is an excellent athlete. We visited with him yesterday. He's a big guy. Every bit of 6'3", about 215 pounds. And in high school, he jumped 6'7". He finished second in the state of Michigan in the high school high jump. And he said it was a hobby. He said, I didn't really know how to do the steps. I would look at the marks that other competitors put down and try to mimic their steps. He lost in a jump off in the state championship track meet. On 3rd and 1. Bell burst through a hole. Josh Mitchell able to get to him. And help from P.J. Smith to take him down. Then a very late flag thrown right at the end of the run, which went to the Nebraska 31-yard line. 40 yards and a first down midway through the second quarter.
Well, this is not a rare occasion when you see people have a goal line defense or short yardage defense, and that tailback burst through there to the second level. No safety deep. You're able to get big yards.
Personal foul, number 37, hit on a defenseless player. 15-yard penalty. Still results 1st and 10.
Trevin Pendleton, redshirt freshman from Lucasville, Ohio, the fullback, called for it.
Right there's a good job of hitting, and it comes back, and Le'Veon Bell burst through there. Nothing but green in the safety, and keep an eye right there.
Yeah. After the tackle, you got to admire the hustle by Pendleton, trying to get down there and help. I don't think Mark Antonio cares about the hustle right now.
Well, again, self-inflicted wounds. I mean, that's kind of been the story of Michigan State this year.
Andrew Maxwell, play action pass, going for the end zone, and it is caught in traffic. Touchdown, Tony Lippett. Longest catch of the season by Lippett. Now a stoppage. It might be.
The previous play is under review. The ruling on the field was a touchdown.
It is being reviewed by John Corus, the replay official.
Good job of Lippett coming back for the football, and touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. And what's been missing from Spartan offense all year, we talked about in the open, lack of explosive big plays. Well, right there, back-to-back. Explosion by Le'Veon Bell, getting in on the short yardage. Then a deep ball to Lippett over the top, who made a great adjustment to come back and secure the football.
The ruling of a touchdown has been confirmed.
First touchdown of the season for Tony Lippett. A 46-yarder from Maxwell. That's just 2 yards short of Andrew's longest pass completion of the year. Lippett, sophomore from Detroit. Played some quarterback last year. As a matter of fact, started 5 games on defense last season. Extra point good by Dan Conroy. Michigan State leading this mistake-prone, unmistake-prone too. Nebraska 14-7. 6:56 to go in the half. Election Day's Tuesday. The students here at Michigan State and having a get out the vote drive. And apparently Sparty getting a lot of consideration around here as a write-in candidate.
Sparty.
to 7. Spartans have the lead. Kevin Muma. Another kickoff. Middle of the end zone, down by Kenny Bell.
Gene Baptiste right here is going to come from a safety position. Again, in position to make a play. He's going to help Josh Mitchell on the inside. Josh has the outside, knowing he's having safety help. And look at Gene Baptiste does not go up and make a play on the ball. Lippett comes back for the ball. The second time this game that Gene Baptiste has had a chance to make a play on the ball and has not made one. And I guarantee you, the former safety Bo Pelini, excuse me, is making that point to him right now. Go make a play on the ball. You have the skills to do it.
Well, we mentioned how mistake-prone they've been. Taylor Martinez thrown a sloppy interception. They have the 2 pass interference penalties on Michigan State's first touchdown drive. They dropped what looked like it was going to be a touchdown pass to Kenny Bell and then missed a chip shot field goal. Penalties, turnovers, mistakes, the kind of things that get you beat. Lost yardage plays as well. Kenny Bell taken down by Curtis Drummond and a big loss back near the 16-yard line. Nine-yard loss. Confusion. Players running off the field for the Michigan State defense. They got everybody off. 4-man rush after Taylor Martinez. He decided to flee the pocket. He's in trouble and chased out for another loss. Twan Jones ran him out. Here's Robert Flores.
All right, John, Dr. Pepper conference update from the SEC. This is good news for Florida. Ole Miss is leading Georgia in Athens. Bo Wallace to Jamal Mosley. It was 10-0 before Georgia answered with a long touchdown pass of their own, but they're still trailing 10-7 to Ole Miss at home.
Ole Miss team, it's improved rapidly under Hugh Freeze. 3rd down and 21. Nebraska going in reverse. Trying to set up a screen, and it's batted down to the line of scrimmage by Will Golston.
A nice job of Golston of not just madly pass rushing, but reading his offensive tackle, coming off of his pass rush, and that 6-7 frame does a good job of reading the quarterback and getting a big paw up there for the blocked shot.
Golston, a sophomore from Detroit. Here's Brett Maher. Had a rough day. Shank punt. Missed 30-yard field goal. This is much better. Andre Sims caught it at the 35. He got a rocked at the 45 by Damian Stafford. 51-yard punt. And a 10-yard return. This matchup of outstanding offense against great defense. Michigan State has the lead. Back in East Lansing, Michigan, where Michigan State leads Nebraska 14-7. And they'll take over with the Spartans with good field position. Andrew Maxwell, 2 years as the understudy to Kirk Cousins, one of the great quarterbacks in Michigan State history, and now in the NFL with the Washington Redskins. Lawrence Thomas, the fullback, in front of Le'Veon Bell. Play action pass. Keith Mumphrey, 8 yards on 1st down for the Spartans. Andrew Green made the tackle.
That's a nice job of play calling by Dan Rochar, the offensive coordinator. Le'Veon Bell been getting some positive yards on 1st down, so the natural thing to do anytime you want a safe pass and get your quarterback in rhythm. Nice little option route by Mumphrey. Good position. 8 yards, 2nd and 2. Just what you want.
Well, Compton was coming on a blitz. They run to the outside, and well defended by P.J. Smith, who tripped up Benny Fowler for a loss. It'll be 3rd down and 3 at the 48-yard line. A loss of 1 on that play.
Discipline right there by P.J. Smith, disregarding the fake handoff up the middle to Le'Veon Bell, playing his responsibility, understanding he has contained, and making a good open field tackle on Benny Fowler.
Maxwell from a Michigan State family. His grandparents, Will and Sharon, longtime season ticket holders. His granddad passed away 10 years ago, but his grandmother still has her season tickets and is here watching her grandson today. Andrew has to pull it down, shovels it out of bounds, incomplete in the general direction of Le'Veon Bell, and the Nebraska defense holds.
Well, Nebraska does a great job of matchup zone. Earlier in their game, they got beat on a crossing route, man-to-man coverage. That time, the defenders switched to crossing receivers. They were able to cover everybody down, forcing Maxwell to throw it away.
John Papuchis, first year as the defensive coordinator, took over for Carl Pelini. Mike Sadler. Fair catch signaled by Tim Marlowe at the 12. 4:02 to go in the first half. 36-yard punt by Mike Sadler. Michigan State leads Nebraska 14-7. 4 minutes to go till the half. While we were away, they announced a penalty during that punt against Twan Jones of Michigan State.
You have to be smart and not hurt your team and be unselfish. Eric Martin's throwing a block right here. It's a clean block, and watch the right hook. You throw a right hook, you don't need a right hook. It hurts your team. That's not a Mark D'Antonio coach football team right there. Bad mistake by Twan Jones. Field position, all about field position. You gave him inches. You just gave him a free 15.
So the line of scrimmage is the 27. Amir Abdullah hit just as he crossed the line of scrimmage by Max Bulla, junior from Traverse City, Michigan, third generation Spartan. His grandfather Hank, a guard here in the early 50s. His dad Shane, a terrific linebacker and team captain in the mid 80s.
Hank was my defensive coordinator in 1993 in Detroit and really taught me a lot about the schemes of pro football, more than any coach that I've ever had. Outstanding coach, Hank Bulla.
And here watching his grandson today.
Played against his dad in a state championship game in 1982 for Cincinnati Moeller.
Timeout, Nebraska. Second team timeout. 30.
Yeah, you asked Max yesterday, well, who's going to be the all-time leading tackler among the Bullas? Because his uncle Chuck played at Michigan State as well, as you see. They also have family members on the Morse side of the family who played at Notre Dame. He was a little bit torn, was Max, when he was being recruited, Michigan State or Notre Dame, but followed his dad and grandfather Hank Bulla. Here, you asked him, who's going to have the most tackles? And he said, I won't, because we play all these spread offensive teams now. It's not like the old days when teams used to play power football and the linebackers made all the tackles.
Well, I've seen a lot of good linebackers on film, and he's right up there with the best, Sean. Very instinctive. He's smart. He can run. He makes plays. He disengages blocks. He understands concepts. And the thing I love about him is that he works at it. He works really hard, and he's critical on himself, but he's still confident in himself as a player.
Excellent in the classroom as well. 3.8 student in finance. Just one timeout left for Nebraska now with 3:23 to go in the half. 2nd and 8. Martinez kept it. Good fake. He turns the corner. Will Denard be able to catch him again? No! Touchdown, 71 yards.
Sometimes you make up for a play, not by making a great catch, but making a great block. Kenny Bell is going to come in here and crack back to spring Taylor Martinez. Right there's the crack back, giving Taylor Martinez the corner. And this time, Denard doesn't have the wheels to catch the speedy Martinez. Watch Kenny Bell right here. Beautiful job of coming back, cutting off the pursuit, and Taylor Martinez with the finishing speed to get 6 on the board.
He's at the 147 yards rushing on just 7 carries today. Maher's extra point has tied it with 3:11 to go in the first half. It's time to answer today's Aflac trivia question. Only 3 players in college football history have thrown for 5,000, rushed for 2,500 or more prior to reaching their senior season. Who are they?
I choose not to answer. But Colin Kaepernick, Antoine Randall, and of course Brad Smith from Missouri, which would have been my answer if I would have chose to answer.
And Taylor Martinez is 53 rushing yards away from joining that group. He's certainly going to do that. Just that injury's healed. There's some angst in Nebraska this week about his health after he limped around a bit against Michigan, but he's had 2 long runs and a season high 147 yards rushing. Good kick by Brett Maher, down by Kyler Ellsworth, and here's Robert Flores.
All right, Sean, here's what's happening on SportsCenter right now, brought to you by HP. Notre Dame is 8-0 for the first time since 2002, number 3 in the BCS standings, but Pitt leads 10-6 second quarter in South Bend. Ray Graham, the touchdown run for the Panthers. Sean.
All right, Robert, thank you. Taylor Martinez's career high rushing yards in a game is 210 at Kansas State in 2010. Well, he might break that today the way he's going. He's had runs of 13, 59, 14 and 71.
It's hard to believe he gets some tough criticism in Nebraska once in a while. He's a good player, man. He's a really good football player.
Le'Veon Bell, the ball carrier, slowed by Jason Ankra. P.J. Smith helped get him on the ground. I shortchanged Taylor Martinez. He had 241 rushing yards in that game at K-State in 2010.
Both teams able to establish their will on the ground. Le'Veon Bell at 104 yards. A lot of it's been north and south, what they wanted from him.
His fifth 100-yard rushing game of the season. Maxwell zings one into traffic, incomplete, looking for Deion Sims with P.J. Smith in coverage. Senior safety from Louisiana.
That's what Nebraska does well. They really play matchup zone. What I mean by that, when they get into coverage, they don't cover dirt. They jump routes and they play routes. P.J. Smith had a little pick right there. Maxwell never saw him. Again, though, mark it down as an opportunity that Nebraska had to make a difference in this ball game. Some mistakes, which John
Papuchis.
Yeah, I know John's there. I don't want to mess his name up, but he's a good coach, good young coach.
Third down and 2, and Papuchis' defense rises to the occasion. Justin Blatchford, who's in there in extra DB situations with help from Damian Stafford. And they stuff the run, 4th down and 1. Just one timeout left for Nebraska.
John Papuchis uses a lot of players, as you see Justin come in here and do a good job of coming inside the block of Blake Treadwell, throwing his body in front of the ball carrier, stopping any forward momentum.
There's Mike Sadler to punt. He's a perfect 4.0 student as a sophomore in engineering sciences. Good kick. Tim Marlowe, fair catch near the 13-yard line. The ESPN College Football is available anytime, anywhere on your computer or mobile device via WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app. We put that to good use after our telecast last Saturday at State College, Pennsylvania. Very hard stadium to get out of, Beaver Stadium. So out in the parking lot, we enjoyed a little post-game tailgating and watched a lot of games on Watch ESPN.
I love it. I mean, I use it everywhere. And the use I got out of was at Penn State, of course, in Lubbock, Texas, which is a fun place to get in and out of.
Yes.
You can spend a lot of time in that airport. Thank goodness for Watch ESPN.
After a 52-yard punt, Nebraska backed up to the 14-yard line and only one timeout. See how frisky they elect to get. Taylor Martinez rushed for 147 yards. He's thrown for 49. A little bit of a wobbler. It was dropped by Ben Cotton, the tight end.
Normally the sure-handed Ben Cotton, even though it was a little knuckleball coming out of Martinez's hands, threw off his back foot, which I think interrupted the trajectory of the football.
Clearly his mechanics are so much better than the last few years when he used to point his left shoulder way up in the air and drop his right shoulder. Looked like he was throwing a javelin a lot of the time. It's made him a much more consistent and accurate thrower. Design run. Max Bullough took him down after a gain of about 8. Now he's first player in Nebraska history with more than 8,000 yards of total offense. Pretty sure Eric Crouch is not watching today. He's broadcasting out in Boulder, Colorado. They were in the Stanford, Colorado game. Kyler Reed, the catch, one of the best pass-catching tight ends ever in Nebraska, to the 26. And now will they pick up the tempo? Yes, they will.
I like the fact they're getting aggressive, staying aggressive, playing to win.
Play action pass. Martinez deep down the middle of the field and too deep. For Quincy Enunwa. He had been known as Enunwa, but Matt Davison, the outstanding analyst on the Nebraska radio broadcast, pointed out a couple of weeks ago, and you've seen this when you go to Lincoln, the players introduced themselves on the video screen before the game. Hi, I'm Taylor Martinez Jr. from California. And Quincy came on the screen and said, I'm Quincy Enunwa. And they also Anunwa.
He became Anunwa, and Jean-Baptiste became Jean-Baptiste.
Yes. Quincy had never bothered to correct anybody. He's been calling him Anunwa for a while. Good tackle by Chris Norman, senior team captain, who's lost his starting job, but still a very valuable member of the defense. 30 career starts, but this year Twan Jones has supplanted him as a starter. Norman still providing plenty of help.
I read an article in the paper about Chris Norman. That's what you want from your seniors. Unselfish and doing anything he can to help the team, even though he did lose the starting job. Leadership.
3rd down and 8. Under a half minute to go in the half. Timeout called by Michigan State. Taylor Martinez. We'll look at his day.
Again, a good blocking, but good reads by Taylor Martinez. Not only running the football, but he's done pretty well throwing the football, except for the inexplicable interception that he had early on in the game. You see right here the speed to finish, just like Braxton Miller, just like Denard Robinson.
Really grown, not just in the throwing. We've mentioned a lot about the improvement in his mechanics, and the results have come with it. But he's grown into the leadership aspect of it as well. He's a guy who's taken some heat from time to time in Nebraska, but Bo Pelini talking this week, he has really been a terrific player. He would think he'd be even better as a senior. 3rd and 8, they run it straight ahead. Well, Michigan State used the last timeout and forced him to punt. Johnny Adams hits the deck, and they do throw a flag.
I think Johnny Adams should get an Emmy for taking the flop right here. Kenny Bell and Johnny Adams were locked hand in hand.
The mutual respect there. Kenny Bell talked during the week about Johnny Adams. He said he can run like the wind. So there are very few cornerbacks who can run with these speedy Nebraska wide receivers, but Adams is one of them, and he's demonstrated that today.
And Pat Narduzzi, the defensive coordinator for Michigan State, asked an awful lot of Denard and Adams. Put him out there on the corner playing man-to-man.
There have been peace treaties negotiated in less time than this. Crowd's getting restless.
There's no foul on the play.
Yeah, thank you.
12 seconds remain in the corner.
Are you taking back the Emmy for Johnny Adams?
Yeah, now I am. One of the things Nebraska wide receivers do well, Sean, they're relentless as blocking receivers downfield. Sign of a well-coached football team.
Yeah, the Michigan State defensive coaches talked admiringly about how spirited the Nebraska wide receivers block. Here's Quint Kesnick trying to keep pace with Bo Pelini.
Coach, what was the single key development in that first half?
Well, we've had some missed opportunities out there, and I'm happy we got in there. We got even at the half, and we're just going to have to execute in the second half to win this football game.
What was more annoying, the drops, the penalties, or the missed assignments on D?
You name it.
Dealer's choice.
Yeah, I think he is equally annoyed by all of those things. And it's never hard to figure that out either. Tied at 14 to the half. Stay tuned for the halftime report after these messages. We're back at Spartan Stadium in East Lansing, Michigan at the half. Nebraska and Michigan State tied at 14. Michigan State has not trailed. Twice they've led by 7. On each occasion, Nebraska came back to tie. 263 yards of offense in the half for Nebraska for the season. That Michigan State defense gives up only 267 per game. But a lot of that yardage for Nebraska was on the 2 long runs by Taylor Martinez. A 59-yarder set up their first touchdown. He scored the second one on a 71-yard run.
Well, you have to make the adjustment. What's the adjustment that Pat Narduzzi and the Michigan State defense is going to do? You have to assign somebody to the quarterback in a single back set, whether that's a safety or a defensive end. Somebody has to go and attack Taylor Martinez. Then you have to rally the football if he hands the ball off. But somebody has to be accountable for Taylor Martinez, because that's been Nebraska's offense, and that's where Nebraska's done its most damage.
As we saw on the stats, neither team's done much through the air. Martinez threw for 52 yards in the half, and Andrew Maxwell 89 for Michigan State. It'll be Spartans ball to begin the second half as Brett Maher kicks off. Bounces away from Nick Hill. So the Spartans will begin at the 25. Let's look at the Pacific Life game summary. Andrew Maxwell, 46-yard touchdown pass, the highlight of his half that gave Michigan State a 14-7 lead. Taylor Martinez, season-high 156 yards rushing, and it took him just a half to do it.
Michigan State only giving up 91 yards on the ground per game at 211 now. Le'Veon Bell also with a nice first half with 105 yards running north and south.
And he gets the call on the first play from scrimmage of the second half, and he gets stacked up by about 5 Huskers. Deontay Evans, Eric Martin in on the tackle. Will Compton there as well. Compton led the Husker defense in the first half with 6 tackles.
Senior leader, middle linebacker, reliable, consistent. That describes Will Compton.
Second down and 8. Andrew Maxwell was 6 out of 14 passing in the first half, including that 46-yard touchdown to Tony Lippett. Good footwork by Bell, and he ran into the pile. At the 29-yard line, Cameron Meredith, David Santos, Eric Martin combining on the stop for Nebraska. Third down and 6, a minute into the third quarter.
First and second down, Nebraska's playing their safeties awful close to the line of scrimmage. You have to see that from the box and maybe call in the next series, not this series, or the next set of downs, something over the top on first or second down, because you'll have a chance to pop one.
Michigan State 3 out of 7 in the first half on third down. Larry Caper is the running back.
See all the white helmets in the box.
And a blitz, and it's caught in the flat for a first down. Good catch by Benny Fowler, junior from Bloomfield, Michigan. Good for a 7-yard gain.
Good call getting Maxwell out in space. There's no contain, so he has time to get out and open. Benny Fowler working off of a pick. Evans cannot fight through the pick. That's where Nebraska normally has a switch, where the men switch guys. They didn't switch there. Evans got caught behind. Easy first down for the Spartans.
And back to the I formation with Le'Veon Bell behind Lawrence Thomas. Play action pass. Thrown into traffic and incomplete. He's trying to force it into Deion Sims, the tight end, and Sean Fisher had the coverage.
You know, that's the idea, but you don't want to throw a short pass. That's when you want to take one deep, because of the safeties being about 8 yards on your screen. You can see 11 white helmets in that box. They're not honoring anything over the top.
Last year with Keyshawn Martin, B.J. Cunningham, a couple of outstanding wide receivers. Mark D'Antonio said yesterday, when you look back at last year, about 95% of our pass offense was gone with the departure of those receivers and Kirk Cousins, the quarterback. Plenty of running room for Le'Veon Bell. Missed tackle by Damian Stafford turns it into a much bigger play all the way to the Nebraska 38. Run out by Deontay Evans.
Boy, the words of Mark D'Antonio, run through the smoke, break a tackle. Right here, Damian Stafford, number 3, is going to come up into the box and have a clear shot at Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon strong with their left jab, bouncing them off. But that's running north and south. That's running through the smoke, and that's breaking tackles. He's doing exactly what his coach asked him to do.
Powerfully built is Bell, 244-pounder. Much better day for him than last year when they managed only 3 points in the loss in Lincoln. Nick Hill breaks a tackle and is close to another first down inside the 30-yard line, banged down by the safeties P.J. Smith and Damian Stafford.
It's a luxury for Michigan State to have somebody else get positive yards on the ground. Give Le'Veon a chance to catch his breath.
And they don't hand it off to other running backs often, as we noted earlier. It's just the 15th carry of the year for Hill. He's averaging less than a yard per rush entering today. He stays in. Going to improve on that average. He's inside the 20. The tackling dreadful for Nebraska here in the second half. Finally, P.J. Smith took him across the boundary inside the 10. First and goal for Michigan State.
This is the old power O. Number 62, Chris McDonald's going to pull from the backside. He's going to lead Nick Bell through there, and you see him do a good job to swing his hips, and Nick Bell just runs to daylight. And like anybody, you get an opportunity to make a play, and you get an opportunity to get on the field. You shine like that, the confidence grows amongst the coaches to give you the football. And now you have arrested Le'Veon Bell back into the ball game because of the yards that Nick Bell picked up. Nick Hill, excuse me.
Andrew Maxwell, plenty of time to throw. Corner of the end zone, incomplete. Looking for Benny Fowler. Deontay Evans had the coverage.
Good job, man-to-man defense. Not looking back too soon. They kind of run a little wheel route. Deontay Evans, good position.
Second and goal. Dan Rochar, the offensive coordinator, talking about the need to break some long runs. They haven't done it this year. Runs of 26, 9, and 21 on this possession. Have them inside the 10. Bell stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Baker Steinkuhler at the bottom of that pile. Eric Martin in there. Cameron Meredith. The defensive front that's played better in recent weeks. Bo Pelini saying yesterday, John Papuchis, it's the reason why they've played better defense the last few weeks.
A little bunch formation right here, and anytime you get that bunch formation with 3 wide receivers, now they split out, it's normally pick routes. Deion Sims right here in the slot's a big target down here in the red zone.
Third and goal from the 7. Maxwell looking for Sims, incomplete. Throw is off target. Linebacker Alonzo Whaley had the coverage.
Well, the matchup you want, that's why we circled it. You have Deion Sims kind of running an inside-out fade using his big body at 285 pounds trying to box him out, but the timing of the pass was just off.
I think Tom Izzo might want to recruit Deion Sims over to the basketball team. That ability to box out. Here's Dan Conroy. Missed a 49-yarder earlier. This one's from 25 yards with the punter Sadler the holder, and that one's good. So a good drive. As Andrew Maxwell said the other day, we kicked too many field goals. A disappointing end of the Michigan State offense.
The college hoop season tips off with the inaugural Armed Forces Classic. Tom Izzo's veteran Spartan squad takes on UConn with new coach Kevin Ollie. Live from Ramstein Air Base in Germany, Friday at 5:30 Eastern.
The game's going to take place in a transport hangar in front of about 3,000 troops. Tom Izzo here, one of the great coaches of all time in college basketball, on the field before the game with his family and posing for pictures with Elvis. He's very high on his team this season. A chance to visit with Coach for about an hour yesterday.
Big Ten should be strong in hoops this year.
Yep. Indiana, preseason #1, coached by former Tom Izzo assistant Tom Crean, who's done a remarkable job at Indiana. After the touchback, here's Quint Kissinek.
spoke to Michigan State head coach Mark D'Antonio about the run defense against Taylor Martinez. He said, look, it's pretty simple. If we don't do a better job against Nebraska's quarterback, we're not going to win this ball game. On the first long run, he admitted their front wasn't set properly. Said when he gets free, he's fast, really fast. On the second touchdown run, the 60-yarder, said the cornerback and safety mismanaged their assignments on that. He said the key, though, we got to get pressure on him. We got to get in his face. We got to get him dirty.
First possession of the second half for Nebraska. Amir Abdullah led for about 3. 60 yards rushing now for Abdullah on 13 carries. You see on the left the numbers coming in for the Michigan State defense. 91 yards per game allowed rushing. That was best in the Big Ten, number 7 in the country. But Nebraska's rushed for 211 yards today. They held Wisconsin, one of the best rushing teams in college football for a long time, with 19 yards rushing last week. Did the Spartan defense up to the challenge there, dropping Taylor Martinez to the line of scrimmage.
And that time nobody went for the fake with Amir Abdullah, and Max Bula seems like he drew the assignment of getting the quarterback on the read option play, filled the hole nicely. Good solid tackles, which you expect from Abdullah.
Pat Narduzzi, the defensive coordinator, yesterday said he's a Chris Spielman type, and then he said he's smart, and I said, hey, wait a minute, stop right there.
Yeah. Let's not get carried away.
I just said he was a Chris Spielman type. Very bright, as are you. 3rd down and 7. Martinez yanks it down and gets away from Golston and throws it away. That is going to be grounding, you would think. Line judge marking like it might be a fumble. Looked like a forward pass and intentional grounding. And now here comes the flag from Bill Lamagna. He got knocked down on the play, so relied on help from his teammates.
Intentional grounding. Number 3. Spot foul. Lost it down. 4th down.
There's nobody in the area. Good job. Lamagna keeping his feet, not going down.
Yeah,
outstanding.
He actually went all the way down. He just slipped a little bit, but stayed on his feet. Nico's Allen had a hold of Martinez. Lost of 20 on the play, and Brett Maher will punt from the end zone. Andre Sims catches it along the far sideline, right at midfield. 41-yard punt, so the ball back to the Spartans, who lead by 3. Well, this fall here, Michigan State, they introduced a new dining option. Eat at State on the go. Food truck right in the middle of the campus. And it's food that is grown, raised, or produced right here at Michigan State University.
Wow.
I don't know if that was produced right here on campus. They look good. 50-yard line where this possession begins for Michigan State. They lead for the 3rd time today. They've never trailed. Andrew Maxwell deep down the field and too high. Over the head of Tony Lippett with Damian Stafford in coverage.
I like the call on 1st down, though. Going ahead and taking a shot down the field. Just keeping Nebraska aware.
I know we both enjoyed our visit with Andrew Maxwell yesterday. A very impressive young man. Talked about his success in the high jump, even though it was a hobby when he was in high school. Graduated from middle and high here in Michigan with a 4.35 grade point average because he took advanced courses and obviously did well in them. He was the president of his student council in high school. He wrote for the school newspaper and won first place in an award. There's a fumble punched out by Damian Stafford. Le'Veon Bell coughed it up. The Huskers have the football. First turnover by Michigan State today.
It's all about getting the safeties involved, something Nebraska's done more. And to stop Le'Veon Bell, you have to get those safeties up there. And the left arm comes in and is right on target on the football, popping it out of Le'Veon Bell's hands. That's what you do to stop the run against a power football team like Michigan State. You have to get your safeties up there at the line of scrimmage. Stafford came in, filled his position, his assignment, He was right there for the cutback and was able to make a big play for the Cornhusker defense.
One turnover for each team. Nebraska's been the worst turnover team in the Big Ten. They're -8 for the year, worst in the conference, but they lead their division. Try to jam it in to Ben Cotton, who was very well covered by Twan Jones.
Well, again, he made up his mind where he's going with the football because he had Anunwa running right down the middle on a skinny post, but he never saw him. He said, I'm going to Ben Cotton, that's it. And Jones is right there reading the route, reading his mail.
Second and 10, nearly midway through the third quarter. Abdullah. Three blockers leading the way. Tackled by Twan Jones at the 49-yard line. Here comes a 3rd and 6 for the Cornhuskers.
3rd and 6, you'll see right now. This is good against good, athlete against athlete. The wide receivers in skilled position against the skill of Michigan State's defense. Number 1 offense versus number 1 defense. This is where you win ball games, on these downs.
Monty Cross is the running back. The freshman. And Martinez lofts one over the head of Tim Marlowe with Curtis Drummond in coverage. So the Cornhuskers did not take advantage of their first takeaway of the game as they go 3 and out.
A big answer by Michigan State's defense after the turnover. Any momentum that Nebraska had was taken away by Sparty on D.
Brett Maher to punt for the 4th time today to Andre Sims. Mark D'Antonio was telling us yesterday another big difference between last year and this year for Michigan State. They haven't made many big plays in the special teams areas. No chance this time for Sims. Fair catch at the 10-yard line. 41-yard punt. Here's Robert Flores.
All right, Sean, AT&T All-American Player of the Week nominee. It is Louisville quarterback Teddy Bridgewater. Career-high 5 passing touchdowns as Louisville beat Temple 45-17. Cardinals 9-0 for the first time in school history. You can text VOTE to 34763. Results revealed Thursday on ESPN. Sean.
Terrific job Charlie Strong's done coaching there. Interesting to read the quotes by the AD Tom Jurich this week saying they'll make him the highest paid coach in the country if they have to keep him. Le'Veon Bell drives forward. He got 3 and it looked like Alonzo Whaley might pull him down to the line of scrimmage. Andrew Green got him at the 13 with help from Sean Fisher.
And not only is Charlie Strong, just to go back to that for a second, Sean, is a great X's and O's football coach, but one of the things he does well is he recruits. He understands how to get players and he goes and gets them. It's just an outstanding job by Charlie and his staff this year.
Straight ahead for a yard. He was wrapped up immediately by Eric Martin, senior from Moreno Valley, California. 3rd down and 6 now for Michigan State.
Boy, I love what John Papuchis is doing. Taking away Le'Veon Bell, they're just bringing blitzes. You see Martin coming from the outside. You have P.J. Smith coming from the outside. Just making sure all gaps are taken care of, that Le'Veon Bell will not hurt them. They're selling out on the run. And until Michigan State hurts them deep, they're going to keep doing it.
John Papuch is just 34 years old. First year as the defensive coordinator. Of course, Bo Pelini's remained actively involved in the operation of the defense ever since he's been the head coach. Maxwell wide open. Benny Fowler, 1st down. They convert on 3rd and 6. P.J. Smith made the stop for Nebraska, but the Spartans move the chains on a completion of 10.
This is going through your progression. He's going to look for Le'Veon Bell in the flat on the wheel route, matched up on the linebacker. He comes back to Benny Fowler on a crossing route. And again, it's all about being accurate, and he's very accurate with those short intermediate throws, giving Benny Fowler room to make the catch and turn upfield to get enough for the 1st down.
Maxwell over 100 yards passing. Bell nowhere to run. Andrew Green up there close to the line of scrimmage. Will Compton, as is so often the case, at the bottom of the pile. Baker Steinkuhler as well.
This is what Michigan State does. They just kind of stay patient. They know who they are. They take their time. In the day and age of hurry-up offense, high-tempo offense, this is going back to the 80s.
Yeah, I just don't know how you can be 108th in the country in scoring, 96th in the country in total offense, but you're 8th in the country in time of possession. I mean, just go up and down the field, but don't score. Screen, batted down and almost picked off by Will Compton, who's upset with himself that he couldn't corral it.
It's all about being a veteran, and you get the feeling that Will Compton has seen this play before. Watch him come off the blitz right there and go back into the throwing lane. That's experience, understanding offenses, understanding what teams are trying to do. And if you're able to run free to the quarterback, something's wrong because you're not that good. Backpedal, retrace your steps, and knock the ball down. Almost an interception for Will.
Compton's brother Cody's a wrestler at Nebraska, has been. Will wants to coach when his playing days are over. Smart a football player as he is, you'd think Will Compton be a good coach. Larry Caper at running back. A blitz didn't get there. And the pass is incomplete, intended for Sims, and they throw the flag. On Justin Blatchford.
Well, Pelini's going to take a hard look at this one.
It's pass interference. It's the third of the day against the Nebraska defense. The first two came on the first touchdown drive of this game for Michigan State.
It's a tough matchup for Blatchford going against the big man and Deion Sims.
Pass interference. Defense, number 13. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
They announced it against P.J. Smith.
See Deion Sims, if they get him, if they're going to get him right there with the left hand, they got there. It looked almost simultaneous with the football.
I think they announced the wrong number.
Yeah. That's a close call.
Yep.
And you can see it with the hook of the left arm. That's a tough matchup. And that's what Deion Sims, that's why he's so valuable. That's why NFL teams love him, because of his size.
Blatchford's a senior who was a walk-on until this year when he's put on scholarship, primarily a special teams player. Maxwell had to get rid of it. And it falls incomplete, short of Keith Mumphrey. Pressure applied again by Eric Martin.
Eric Martin's had an outstanding year. The thing that John Papuchis loves about him, Bo Pelini loves about him, I love about him, when you watch him on film, he's got a motor. I mean, he goes 100 miles per hour every play, all day.
Second down, 10, under 5 minutes to go now in the third quarter. Le'Veon Bell. Wrapped up by P.J. Smith. Well, John Papuchis, an interesting guy to talk to as we visited with him yesterday. He mentioned just 34 years old. He has a fascinating career into coaching. He was a baseball player at Catholic University for a couple of years. Decided he didn't want to do that. Wanted to go someplace where he might try to walk on and play football. Went to Virginia Tech, kept trying out for the team, never made it, so he decided to coach high school football, help out at Blacksburg High in Virginia. And when that was done, he thought he was going to go to Wall Street and make a lot of money. But he decided, you know what, I've got a little bit of the coaching bug. I'm going to send letters around. He wrote letters to about 300 schools. Only LSU replied, and they said, we don't have anything, but we think they might have something at Kansas. Maxwell with Meredith in pursuit. Throws, and it is dropped. There were two receivers there, probably not the way it was designed. Sims and Mumphrey, and it looked like Mumphrey was saying to Sims, I thought that was going to you. And Mumphrey dropped it.
Or that, or Sims screened him from the ball. He tipped it, yeah. You see Deion Sims went up to tip it, or to catch it. He tipped the ball, which threw Mumphrey off and couldn't bring it in. Yeah, John Pepuchis, you talked about that, Sean. Just a lesson in perseverance, too.
Yep. Well, Kansas did have a GA job open, as it turned out, under Terry Allen. Pepuchis wound up going there for 3 years, and that launched his career. Tim Marlowe back for the punt. He's taken down immediately by Curtis Drummond. 3:52 to go in the third quarter. This week on ESPN's Monday Night Football, Michael Vick and the Philadelphia Eagles travel to New Orleans to take on Drew Brees and the Saints. And at halftime, don't miss interviews. Chris Berman with both President Barack Obama and Governor Mitt Romney. The Eagles and the Saints on Monday Night Football at 8:30. Coverage starts at 6:30 with Monday Night Countdown. Both of those teams need a win.
Michael Vick getting a start again in his last chance to turn it around.
Against a defense that's really struggled. Amir Abdullah turns the corner. Nebraska hasn't had a first down here in the second half. They've had 2 3-and-outs. This is their third possession since halftime. Curtis Drummond ran Amir Abdullah across the boundary.
Something to be said about patience right there. Amir Abdullah had great patience, allowed Justin Jackson, his center, to get out around the corner. Stayed with it and was able to get positive yards.
Movement. It looked like James Kittredge came across the line of scrimmage. Sophomore defensive tackle, transfer from Vanderbilt, where he played 1 year as an offensive lineman.
Contact, number 99 defense. 5-yard penalty. Results in a first down.
He's from Ramsey, New Jersey. They have 2 New Jerseyans on the defense. And thankfully, neither James Kittredge nor Shalik Calhoun had considerable damage done at their homes. Our hearts go out to the folks in the Northeast, still dealing and will be for a long time with the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy. Martinez, a deep ball for single coverage, and it's intercepted by Darquez Denard, looking to bring it back with a lot of running room, and chopped down by Kenny Bell inside the 40-yard line. Quincy Enunwa was the intended receiver. Bo Pelini irate and being told to get back by the side judge, Scott McElwee.
You can't say enough about Michigan State's corners. Watch Denard right here. Play man-to-man, not give up. The ball needs to be thrown to the inside. The ball's thrown to the outside. Denard does a good job with ball skills. And this was what I love, Sean. Makes the interception and is able to turn it right away into a positive return yards. Poor decision right there again by Taylor Martinez. Throw to the inside, not to the outside, because these corners will make you pay on the slightest of mistake in throwing the football.
First interception of the year for Denard, 4th of his career. 27-yard return, and now it's Bell spinning down inside the 30. 9-yard run on first down. Damian Stafford made the tackle. Second interception of the day thrown by Martinez. Second turnover for Nebraska. -1 in this game and -9 for the year. 107th in the country. And even despite that number, they're the leaders of the Legends division of the Big Ten. Bell has the first down, pulled down by Will Compton, as we send you to Robert Flores.
All right, Sean, check out what's going on in South Bend. Pittsburgh is leading the Irish 17-6. Tino Sinceri to J.P. Holtz. And a big run just now by superstar Ray Graham has the Panthers inside the Irish 15.
Wow, what a turnaround. That Pitt team from the beginning of the year. Remember, they started the season, first game under Paul Chryst, losing to Youngstown State. You could see the benefit of his coaching and that staff. They've gotten better as the year's gone along. Here's Lawrence Thomas rumbling inside the 10-yard line and taken across the boundary by Andrew Green. Former defensive player Thomas has them first and goal at the 8.
Well, you have Will Compton, who's responsible for Lawrence Thomas man-to-man get caught up inside and getting picked off. And the big man rumbling.
He's a linebacker until the second week of the year. 295 pounds. His first catch of the day. 17-yard gain. First and goal, Michigan State. Keith Mumphrey tackled by the ankles by Damian Stafford. And there is a flag down on the play, thrown on the near sideline along the line of scrimmage.
Illegal formation, offense, 5 in the backfield, 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. Clock operator, set the clock to 1:28, please. 1:28.
Does Bill LeMonnier have a minimum number of other officials he has to speak with before he makes each call?
You just want to be sure.
Leader by consensus, apparently. Isn't necessarily a bad thing.
You know what we haven't seen, and they tried one earlier, but a lot of teams aren't afraid to screen down here by the goal line.
Inside handoff, Le'Veon Bell struggles for a couple. Will Compton, Damian Stafford, Cameron Meredith.
Damian Stafford on the tackle.
And we're under a minute to go in the third quarter. They were tied at 14 at the half. Michigan State leads now for the third time today. They've never trailed. They led 7-0, 14-7, and now 17-14.
You just get the feeling like Michigan State almost needs a touchdown here as opposed to settling for a field goal. It's kind of the way their year's been going.
There's been so many close games. All 5 of their games in the Big Ten have been decided by 4 points or less. Their 2 wins and their 3 losses. 2 of them in overtime. Maxwell all day to throw, but nobody open. Now he's going to run. And he's out of bounds. Whoa! He got hit. Stafford didn't mean to, but he hit him way out of bounds over by the Nebraska band. And that's huge because it would have been 4th down and a field goal. Instead, it's going to be 1st and goal.
Following the play, dead ball. Late hit out of bounds. Number 3 on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic, 1st down.
Well, he was pushed into it by Keith Mumphrey, number 25.
He's that's why he was pointing at the scoreboard, and he saw he pulled up, apparently trying not to hit him.
Well, obviously, they didn't see the push, and when you're running fast and you just get a slightest push, you do lose a little bit of control. Tough call.
Another costly penalty against Nebraska. Bell shoved out of bounds. Boy, that's not a good place to be over there in the Nebraska band. They bust 15 hours, by the way, to get here. The Nebraska band. We know that because they're in our hotel.
Yes, they were. That's just the following of Nebraska is impressive, and they're passionate about football.
And then across Husker Nation, a little upset about that call. He did get shoved into him, but he actually took 2 or 3 more steps before he hit the man, too. On to the 4th quarter we go. Spartans by 3.
Well, I've been in this position. You're going to get pushed in the back. Stafford's going to be pushed in the back by Mumphrey right there, and it's tough to stop because your momentum's going toward the sidelines. He's a smart football player. He's not going to hit the guy when he's over by the band. He was pushed in the back. His momentum carried him. I don't know if the official saw the push or not, but I know it's very difficult to stop if you're a player in that position.
Yeah, I agree with you. They saw the push. They probably wouldn't have thrown the flag. Le'Veon Bell extended the ball. Did not get it in. About a half-yard shy, and here comes another 3rd down. That penalty that you saw gave them a 1st down when it would have been 4th down. Here's another key 3rd down. His knees down, the ball well short, almost at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, the ball could be spotted at the 1. And the one thing, though, Le'Veon Bell has done today, like his coaches wanted, he's running north and south and with good power.
Huge play here. Touchdown makes it a 2-score game. Second rushing touchdown of the game for Le'Veon Bell's up to 164 yards rushing on 29 carries. It's way shy of his season high. He ran for 253 in their win over Eastern Michigan, his career high. And Conroy adds the extra point. They take advantage of the interception to make it a 2-score game for the first time today, up by 10. The Disney ABC television group has designated this Monday, November 5th, as a day of giving across its network and syndicated programming, encouraging tens of millions of viewers to help those impacted by Hurricane Sandy. ESPN is proud to join ABC to help raise donations for this important cause. To donate, please text ABC to 90999 to give $10, or go to www.redcross.org/ABC. Of course, many of our ESPN colleagues live in Connecticut. We have folks on our crew impacted by Hurricane Sandy this week. Squib kick bouncing around, scooped up by Jamal Turner. He's wrestled down by Mitchell White. Near the 20-yard line. Here's a look at today's Good Hands play, brought to you by Allstate. It was an important play that just set up the last touchdown.
Darquez Denard right here doing a good job of playing the football one-handed. And the transition from the interception into the run to get positive yards and great field position. The Allstate Good Hands for the day.
Junior from Dry Bridge, Georgia. Veteran corner, 22nd career start. Nebraska had a dreadful third quarter on offense. Martinez fumbles the football, had a chance to get it back and did it. And it looks like the offensive line recovered it. Jeremiah Searles pounced on the ball. What a huge break for Nebraska. Martinez nearly turned it over for the third time, then nearly compounded the mistake by not picking it up when he tried to scoop and run with it.
He's put the ball on the ground 9 times this year.
He was down.
Yeah, he would have been down anyway. They should bring that back and spot it where he's down. Lost 5 fumbles, almost picked it up and scored again, but Cyril's hustling downfield saves the day. But he is, yeah, he was down. His knee was down when Drummond came in with the hit.
Drummond's had a big game, had the first interception.
Under review, the ruling on the field was a fumble by the offense, recovered by the offense.
Will likely be overturned by John Corus, outstanding replay official. He responded immediately when he saw that replay you saw. This replay, which when he's down, looks like he still has the ball.
Yeah, certainly it'll be marked where the contact is, and you'll see a good look at it right here. Watch the left knee. Right there is down.
Is the ball coming out, though?
I think he's down before. Michigan State had a chance to jump on it. Cyril's hustling downfield. That's a big play.
Well, if they rule him down by contact, the play should have gone for about a 5-yard gain. It would be 2nd and 5. We're just talking about how horrible the third quarter was for Nebraska. They ran 8 plays on offense in the third quarter for -4 yards. They had 2 3-and-outs, and then Martinez threw the interception. Both of his interceptions have resulted in Michigan State touchdowns.
And that's a statement of how good a coach Pat Narduzzi is, the defensive coordinator for Michigan State. He's outstanding. We talked about what was the mission going into the locker room. Where were they hurt in the first half? Taylor Martinez running the football. There you see Pat right there, enjoying a beverage. And they were able to slow down what Nebraska was able to do.
And Narduzzi, we visited with him yesterday. We were just talking about Hurricane Sandy, his family impacted by it. He's from Teaneck, New Jersey. His dad, the late Bill Narduzzi, finished his coaching career at Columbia in New York City.
Following the video review, the play stands as called. Nebraska's ball. Clock will start on the ready for play.
I think they just couldn't determine if the ball was starting to come out before the knee was down. For Pat Narduzzi's mom, Angie, lives in Teaneck, New Jersey, right outside New York City. She had flooding. She's lost her power, and Narduzzi said he had to find a hotel for her to go. She didn't want to leave her house, but she wanted to go someplace where she could watch the game today. So he found her a hotel room just so she could go watch the Spartans today. Abdullah runs for about 11 more. Maybe that big break is what'll get Nebraska's offense back on track. Number 1 in the Big Ten in offense coming in, but losing the battle against the number 1 defense in the conference.
What I think they would like to do is get a little tempo going, and right there is something that drives Pat Narduzzi crazy. William Golston had a chance to make a tackle and missed the tackle, where he can make that play. He's capable of making it. You see him, a big-time player with big-time ability. He has to do it all the time. A little more consistency from number 2.
Martinez keeps, waits for the hole, and gets chopped down about 2 yards short of the first down to the Michigan State 45 by Isaiah Lewis.
Exactly what Michigan State is doing. You see Isaiah Lewis, number 9, stepping up, making sure that somebody is accountable for the quarterback, and Isaiah Lewis is there to stop Martinez from a huge gainer.
Nebraska's shown the ability to come back. They rallied from 17 down to beat Wisconsin this year. They were 12 down in the fourth quarter at Northwestern and won by a point. Abdullah straight ahead for the first down to the Michigan State 38. Curtis Drummond to stop.
They're certainly seeing something on their right side. That's where they've been attacking Michigan State and having success.
Martinez caught by the tight end Jake Long. His 6th catch of the year for the junior from Elkhorn, Nebraska, the twin brother of their starting right guard, Spencer Long.
Again, John, they're efficient now. They're being efficient because they're going up tempo, and Michigan State, the big fellas up front, are starting to put their hands on their hips, showing a little bit of fatigue.
Michigan State has about a 6-minute edge in time of possession. Out of the gun on 2nd and 6. Flag thrown. Martinez kept it. Had to leap over the blocker, Ben Cotton, down a yard short of the first down, but the referee, Bill Lamagnier, threw the flag in the backfield.
Illegal shift. Number 41. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Look at Jake.
9th penalty against Nebraska, and so many of them have been so costly.
See Jake Long right here looking over the line of scrimmage, and he wasn't set for the full second, and he got back into his stance. Would have been better off if he just stayed up in his 2-point.
2nd and 11. Set a 3rd down and 1. Design roll for Martinez. Throws it toward the receiver, was out of bounds. Stephen Osborne. First time he's been targeted today.
I don't know why Stephen Osborne turned it up. He was sitting right there wide open. Now Taylor Martinez made a poor decision, was a little late with the football. He was there, Sean, nobody within 5 yards. Michigan State looks like they're going to bring some type of pressure, although they've been known to drop 8 in this situation, drop people to the sticks, make him throw underneath, rally, and make a play.
Martinez 2 for his last 9, battling the loudest noise of the day. Throws on the run, caught for a first down at the 20, and then a late hit out of bounds. You know they're going to throw it because they threw it against Nebraska. Mylan Hicks, a backup defensive back, who hit Jamal Turner after a 19-yard gain on 3rd and 11.
Well, they did drop 8. The problem is they didn't cover the targets. They didn't cover the receivers. They dropped 8.
Following the play. Dead ball. Unnecessary roughness. Number 6. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
They did not play routes. They played areas. And Jamal Turner finds an open area, and Taylor Martinez, deciding not to run, squeezes one in there to Jamal Turner, and Hicks comes in with the late hit.
First catch of the day for the sophomore Turner of Arlington, Texas, former quarterback. First and goal from the 10. Down by 10, Nebraska. 11:22 to go. Martinez shovels it ahead, caught by Bell. Risky play. But you have to admire, I guess, his courage and daring, because he's turned it over twice. Fumbled it, but didn't lose it another time. And then, boy, in a situation, Chris, they have to score. That's awfully risky.
It is. It's a lot of trust in your receiver, and I don't know why he did not keep the football, Sean. You see right there, he could have kept maybe running, gotten into the end zone. Instead, he flicked it forward.
Second and goal from the 5. Quick pass intercepted by Darquez Denard. Martinez couldn't tackle him, nor could Abdullah. He gets away from Martinez, picks up a block. He's going to score. Touchdown, Michigan State. Flag down. Back at the 22 at the other end of the field. And injured players down on both sides. It stands. It's the second interception of the game for Denard. And there's a flag. 78 yards back upfield.
During the return, personal foul. Number 5 on the return team. Half the distance to the goal. First down, Michigan State.
We're talking about huge penalties. There's another. Wipes out a touchdown.
Well, they're trying to pick right here, Sean, but this time Darquez Denard comes off in his zone, reads the route, and overplays the play, reads Taylor Martinez's eyes, jumps in front of Cotton. Shows a remarkable return, the ability to break tackles. Fatigued, and again another personal foul in this ball game cost Michigan State 6 points, but importantly enough, they get the football.
Taylor Martinez had thrown only 5 interceptions all season. He's thrown 3 today. He's passed for only 80 yards. He averages 223. We built this as the matchup of the best offense in the league against the best defense, and the defense has the upper hand so far in this one.
There, Johnny Adams blocking Kenny Bell 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Unnecessary.
Play action pass from Maxwell, pursued by Baker Steinkuhler, and threw it away. You have to be careful not to get intentional grounding in the end zone.
Outside the tackle box, and enough to make you nervous. If you're a Spartan fan, that was close.
Position in a situation in the game where you absolutely could not turn it over. Martinez did. Coaches said yesterday he has to do a good job of protecting the ball. He has not today. Le'Veon Bell, he delivered the hit to P.J. Smith. Wow, what a collision. And the end of a 3-yard run.
Well, that's 245 hit and 210. Take a listen. Good job for PJ coming up there and still wrapping him up, knowing that the big man was going to deliver a blow. Selling his body out for his team to make a solid tackle. Painful one, but a solid one.
We talked about the Nebraska penalties, but Michigan State, with that costly personal foul on the return, their 8th penalty of the day. 3rd down and 7. Maxwell looked like a design run. We got 2. P.J. Smith made the tackle, so he bounced right back up. And Andrew Maxwell a little wobbly as he got up. 4th and 5. He's still trying to shake it.
John Papuchis getting aggressive, coming with the blitz, forcing Maxwell, if it was designed, to put it down.
He's wobbling.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, they need to take a look at him. Mike Sadler on the punt. Tim Marlowe back deep. Ugly looking kick. Could be effective. Marlowe scoops it up and goes right down. And they're checking Andrew Maxwell on the sideline. Was that a helmet-to-helmet hit? When we first saw this picture, I thought that patient's in really rough shape. That's the new College of Nursing building dedicated, the Bott Building for Nursing Education and Research, dedicated this week on the Michigan State campus. And Andrew Maxwell needed medical attention after that hit by Jason Ankara. Nebraska perhaps fortunate that was not called for personal foul.
That reminded me of you after you call a game with Bill Raftery and Jay Billis. That's how you look.
High snap to Taylor Martinez. Handed it off to Amir Abdullah. Stays on his feet. He was close to a first down into Spartan territory at the 48. And Nikos Allen made the tackle. Under 9 minutes to go now. Michigan State leading by 10.
This is what tempo is important for Nebraska. You cannot be afraid to throw the football in this situation. Even though Taylor Martinez has had a rough second half, you still have to air the ball out to be able to run the football effectively.
4 possessions this half for Nebraska. Punt, punt, interception, interception. And the last one was they were down near the goal line. To the 41 goes Abdullah, and we go to Robert Flores.
All right, Sean, here's what's happening on SportsCenter right now, brought to you by HP. Notre Dame creeps closer to Pitt. They get this touchdown in the 4th quarter, but they miss the point after. They're still down 20-12. Meantime, TCU just forced overtime on the road against number 21 West Virginia. 94-yard touchdown there.
Amir Abdullah, the carry here, lost the ball but was ruled down by contact with about a 2-yard loss. Mitchell White made the tackle. There comes a critical 3rd down and 7 with 8 minutes to go. Nebraska 5 out of 10 on 3rd down today. And that's good against Michigan State, because for the year, Spartan defense just 30% allowing conversions on 3rd down, 12th best in the country. Four-man rush. They get there, and Martinez got away. Gets away again, and he's out of bounds very near the marker. Looked to be just short from here, and he's about a yard shy. Run out by Max Bulla. 4th down and 1, and undoubtedly Bo Pelini will go for it midway through the 4th quarter, down by 2 scores.
Great job of Taylor Martinez of staying alive.
Timeout for an injured defensive player.
It looked like William Golston had a chance to seal the deal. Taylor Martinez, not only is he fast, he has great strength as a runner. Golston in there, and Taylor Martinez working hard to get that first down. Short of the marker, and I agree with you, Sean, a definite go-for-it situation.
Looks like a little over a yard to go for the first down. Martinez 165 yards rushing, but he had 156 at the half. This could be the play of the game.
This is a decision Pat Narduzzi has to make. You get aggressive, you blitz, you play man-to-man, trust your guys will cover, and that way you'll have enough people up there to defend Taylor Martinez if he decides to run the football, or do you play it safe and make him use the clock?
They announced an injury timeout, but we can't see anybody who's injured or down on the field. They haven't charged the timeout to either team, and now here they come. 4th 4th and 1 Nebraska. At the Michigan State 39. C.J. Zimmer, the fullback, in front of Amir Abdullah. He follows the fullback and has the first down. With a couple of extra yards added on down near the 35, where Twan Jones and William Golston combined on the tackle for the Spartans.
Vintage Nebraska. Toss ISO to the I-back, a la Rick Burns. I am hip. David Hum, the quarterback, of course, back in those days.
Well, I thought you meant your hip. It's just debatable, but I'd give you that. 109 yards rushing for Abdullah, so they have 2 100-yard rushers in the game. Martinez, how about that play design and execution? Great fake. He's inside the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska. 35 yards for Taylor Martinez to put him right at an even 200 yards rushing for the game.
Well, just the opposite of what we did the last time. Here's the fake tailback, I-back ISO. Taylor Martinez keeps it, and as he's proven all day, has the ability with his legs to go the distance and keep Nebraska in this game with a quick score, bringing it in with a field goal if, of course, this extra point is converted.
First score of the second half for Nebraska. Second long touchdown run of the day for Martinez. The first one was 71 yards. And now Maher with a critical extra point to make it a field goal game. And it's good. Seven minutes to go, and another barn burner for the Spartans. It's been a tight game all year long. 7:02 to go. Let's look at our Pacific Life game summary. As expected, a tight one here in East Lansing, Michigan. Taylor Martinez, the star of the day, 200 yards rushing. Le'Veon Bell, a big day on the ground for Michigan State. Both teams have had costly penalties. Nebraska just scored to get within 3, a 58-yard drive in 6 plays. They converted a 4th and 1, and then Taylor Martinez ran 35 yards for a second long touchdown run of the day. Down to 36 degrees. The breeze really not a factor. As Brett Maher kicks off. Down to Nick Hill. He's to the 20, and that's all. And here's Quint Kesnick.
Michigan State quarterback Andrew Maxwell is fine. He was evaluated by athletic trainer Jeff Monroe. Connor Cook, the backup quarterback, never even took any warm-up throws. Maxwell put on a ski cap, had a big smile, sat behind the Michigan State bench while watching that last Nebraska drive on the overhead video boards. I actually walked back there. It's really tight quarters here. He said to me, turned to me and said, "Don't worry about me. I'm okay."
We talked yesterday about the fact that quarterbacks don't get hit in practice. So when you get whacked in the game, it's something that you're really not used to. And he got whacked. Le'Veon Bell stopped immediately by Will Compton, having another huge game for the Nebraska defense.
When you take a look at the opportunities missed, we had the touchdown called back for Michigan State. You had Kenny Bell drop a touchdown pass, and the short field goal missed by Nebraska in the first half by Maher could prove costly, but that's why we're at 24-21 at this point in the ball game. Missed opportunities on both sides.
Maher might get another chance to tie it. 10 tackles now for Will Compton. 6:20 to go. They've been the best time of possession team in the league, and the Spartans run down the clock. Maxwell throws, caught, and then the ball came loose. Are they ruling it a catch? No. Tony Lippett looked like he made an acrobatic diving catch, but he couldn't hang on.
Sean, we just got done talking about missed opportunities. Another one right here. Maxwell puts the ball perfect for Lippett, and the ball is jarred loose when Lippett goes to the ground. What a throw by Maxwell. That's one that he needed and the team needed. Missed opportunity again for the Spartans.
Maxwell's 9 out of 26 for 123.
Where they like those crossing routes to run picks.
Here comes a blitz by Nebraska. Single coverage. Deion Sims couldn't hang on. Justin Blatchford had the coverage. So a couple of chances for Lippin and Sims, and neither could make the catch.
Watch the discipline by Blatchford right here. Sims' hands are going to go. Watch the right hand of Blatchford right there. Getting in between the hands of Big Deion Sims and making a great play on the football, avoiding any contact or a penalty.
Second straight 3 and out for Michigan State. Just had one of its best games of the year offensively. Haven't been able to do it the last couple of possessions. Mike Sadler bombs a punt. Marlowe muffed it. Tim Marlowe yanked down from behind at the 39-yard line by Jeremy Langford. 55-yard punt. Marlowe's hurt again. 14-yard return for Tim. Mentioned a good day for this Michigan State offense, Chris. This is just the 4th time this year in 10 games they scored 20 or more points. In this day and age of college football, where we see all these crazy high scores, they have been offensively challenged for most of the year. Dave Warner, the quarterback coach over there with Andrew Maxwell.
We were talking to Mark D'Antoni yesterday and Pat Narduzzi. Boy, they would like a game where, they feel a little bit of comfort. And they lost a lot of close ones this year, but they were hoping last week that the overtime win against Wisconsin and the comeback win they had will kind of springboard them. Well, they have an opportunity to prove that. See if they turn the corner. And they do a great job in November, as does Bo Pelini, as you pointed out at the beginning of the broadcast.
Started from the very first game of the year. They beat Boise State here by 4 points. And all 5 of their games in the Big Ten prior to tonight decided by 4 points or less. Lost at Ohio State by 1, won at Indiana by 4, lost to Iowa by 3, Michigan by 2, and then beat Wisconsin by 3 in overtime last week. Up by 3 today against Nebraska. Trying to come back again in the Big Ten from double digits, the Huskers. They've done that to Wisconsin and Northwestern. Martinez. Submarine to the 43, a pick of a 3. Darquez Denard made the tackle.
Good job by Isaiah Lewis, and it's clear that Pat Narduzzi has implemented the safeties into the game plan to stop Taylor Martinez. They have to be disciplined not to chase Abdullah on the fake and stay with Martinez.
Play clock down to 2. Martinez elected to keep it. He got smothered by Marcus Rush. No gain on the play. 3rd down and 6. Under 5 minutes to go. Each team with all 3 timeouts.
Kenny Bell's been quiet, but another guy that's pretty reliable is number 25, Kyler Reed. He's a tight end, but he's lined up in the slot as a wide receiver. You see Kyler lined up one-on-one with Isaiah Lewis.
Spartans blitz. Martinez had time. Has him in. Quincy Enunwa across midfield before he's driven back. Isaiah Lewis, the tackle. First catch of the day for Enunwa, who was their 2nd leading receiver for the year, coming in with 25 receptions.
Read the corner, throw the corner. That time, Kyler Reed was able to run Denard off. Enunwa sits in front of Denard because he's deep, so he reads the corner. The corner's deep. He throws short to Enunwa as he helped off the field, maybe slightly shaken up on that play.
No doubt. And Isaiah Lewis also is as well. He's still down on the field for the Michigan State defense. And as they take a look at Isaiah, the junior from Indianapolis, we send you back to Robert Flores in our studio for an update.
All right, Sean, big feelings in South Bend. Number 3, Notre Dame continues to be on the ropes, down 20-12 to Pittsburgh. Haywan Williams, the pick in the end zone. Panthers have just forced a punt. Notre Dame has the ball, 3 minutes to go. Tonight, coming up on ABC. While number 3, Notre Dame struggles, number 2, Kansas State, they are at home against number 24, Oklahoma State. That's 8 Eastern, 7 Central on ABC.
Saw the numbers that our research department ran this week. Chris Felica, there was only a 2.9% chance that those 4 teams at the top would all go undefeated at the end of the year. Notre Dame may not survive today. What a huge upset that would be after their big win at Oklahoma.
Well, I mean, Paul Christ is an outstanding coach, and just got to be patient with him when he gets his players and his system implemented. Pitt will win a lot of games under Paul.
Big 4th down conversion on the last possession for Nebraska. Big 3rd down conversion here. Abdullah couldn't get away. Max Bulla made another tackle.
I can't say enough about Max. I really think he's just maybe the most instinctive linebacker that I've watched so far this year. Really understands the game, and the thing I love about it is that a kid works very hard like Max, and you get to see it pay off on the field.
Another injured player. This time it's Nebraska's center, Justin Jackson. And that's the reason for the stoppage in play with 3:43 to go. Only 3 races remain in the chase, and it heads to the Lone Star State. Jimmy Johnson has taken the lead over Brad Keselowski, but by only 2 points. In the closest race in chase history, can JJ hang on with his 6th championship? He might win 8 before he's done, maybe more. Or can Bad Brad make a move and claim his first? The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup continues tomorrow at Texas with Sprint Cup Countdown presented by Tire Rack. I always have to say that slowly. It's hard. At 2 Eastern on ESPN.
I think Jimmy has the pole tomorrow, too. I think that'll help.
He won last week in Martinsville to take the lead over Brad Keselowski. Well, Jackson's out. The new center in the ball game is Cole Pensick, who's played plenty of center this year. He comes in at center and guard. 2nd down, 9 from the Michigan State 44. 3.5 minutes to go. Play action pass. Martinez has it deflected. Intended for Kyler Reed.
What a job.
It'll be 3rd down and 9.
William Golston getting his hands up in the throwing lane. Understanding he's not going to get there in the pass rush. He was stopped on his pass rush, but has the awareness to use that 6'7" frame, get those big arms up in the throwing lane and knock down and prevented a 1st down because Kyler Reed was open at the sticks.
Starting center Justin Jackson back in. Pensick shifts over to guard. Another 3rd down. There's 6 out of 12 on 3rd down with a big conversion on this possession. Not in field goal range. Crowd of better than 73,000 roaring. Martinez shoved out of bounds by Marcus Rush. Looked like he was trying to throw it. Are they going to rule him out of bounds or call that an incomplete pass? The pressure, the incomplete pass.
Yeah, the pressure comes from your top of your screen, forcing Martinez to roll to his right. He throws the ball, and he is still inbounds when Marcus Rush gives him the push.
There were no signal from any official. 4th down and 9. And they're going to go for it. And it's an option here for Bo Pelini with the way his defense is played. You could punt him and use your 3 timeouts.
I'm Pat Narduzzi. I'm bringing pressure again, forcing Martinez to make a decision.
Martinez off his back foot. It's caught, but short of the 1st down. Quincy Enunwa nowhere near the marker, about 5 yards short. I think with 9 yards to go, Chris, you can certainly question the decision. If you punt them back down near the 10-yard line and hold again, and they have the last couple of possessions, and again, 2 players injured on the play. Curtis Drummond for Michigan State and the receiver Enunwa for Nebraska.
This was Pat's game plan coming in. I agree with you, Sean, but the game plan was to pressure, forcing him to blitz control or hot read. He does. Another one is short of the sticks, and all you got to do is make an open field tackle, exactly what Sparty did on defense.
With 9 yards to go, they've thrown for under 100 yards passing today, but still elected to go for it. Magical season for the Irish. Perhaps it's about to continue magically along. 1st and 10, Michigan State. Le'Veon Bell lowers the boom and gets 5, goes out of bounds. They're going to wind the clock, though. Forward progress has been stopped. Alonzo Whaley made the tackle. A 5-yard gain under 3 minutes to go. Michigan State leading by 3 after they held Nebraska on 4th down and 9.
Bill Pelini takes a timeout.
172 yards rushing now. I think Bo Pelini's, you can read his lips, wasn't that out of bounds? Really can't allow a 1st down here. They're really going to be up against it. Here's the latest BCS standings. Brought to you by Discover Card. Of course, they'll change tomorrow night. But Alabama with the big matchup tonight at LSU, where the Tigers have the longest home winning streak in the country, 22 in a row. K-State in action tonight on ABC at 8 o'clock against Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's won the last 3 in that rivalry. Tomorrow night on ESPN and ESPNU, Reese Davis, Kurt Herbstreit, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollack will unveil the new BCS poll. Who'll rise? Who'll fall? BCS Countdown presented by Discover Card tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN. It continues on ESPNU at 9.
Well, I'm going to go with a little bit of a upset pick. I think USC is going to get Oregon tonight. I don't know why. I mean, USC's not playing anymore.
I'll take a friendly wager on that if you want.
Yeah, there's nothing friendly about that wager.
No, there is not. 2nd and 5. They added some time back onto the clock. Shoveled back to Bell. 1st down. And he stayed in bounds, so as soon as they move the chains, they'll wind the clock again.
Another great call with Dan Rochard, the offensive coordinator. Really outstanding. Just a misdirection play, getting the fast-flowing Nebraska defense going one way. Le'Veon Bell out in open field. And the experience and the smarts to get down inbounds.
229 rushing yards for a Michigan State team that was averaging only 131 per game. Last in the Big Ten entering today. But rush defense has been a problem for Nebraska. They're 82nd in the country in rush defense. 9th in the Big Ten. Bell upended by P.J. Smith. And a timeout called by Nebraska, leaving the Huskers with 1 with 2:21 left. Tonight on ABC's Saturday Night Football, National Championship hopes on the line in the Big 12 for K-State. As the Wildcats host number 24, Oklahoma State, presented by Windows 8. 8 Eastern Time, 5 Pacific. It's another series with a knack for having close games.
I just think Kansas State with Colin Klein, I mean, they got everything going for them. They're number 2, no longer flying under the radar. Do you feel an upset there?
I do.
Yeah, that's the one you feel the other. All right, we'll wager the wager on that.
You've got the upset bug everywhere.
I kind of feel it there, too. I don't know why. I just think this time of year we're starting to see teams that do that. Nobody's talking about whether LSU can knock off Alabama down there. I'll go with that one, too.
Keep going.
I got to get one of them right.
You hit on one, everybody will say, well, that's Spielman. He predicted that.
There you go.
2nd and 7. Bell, pretty certain he's going to get it. They'll use their last time out, you would think. Well, for the moment, they're not.
Out by Alonzo Whaley.
They will after this play, almost certainly. But rather than punt them down, try to stop them, make them punt from deep in their own territory by going for it. You've made the field position situation really, really tough for yourself if you get it back if you're Nebraska, Chris, because they're going to have no timeouts left. And much of the field to cover. Of course, they only need a field goal to tie it, but they need the ball back first. Huge play, 3rd and 6. Blitz. Bell trying to break tackles, powering, but he didn't get there. And now Mark D'Antonio with a decision to make on 4th down and 2. Damian Stafford, Cameron Merritt finally got him down. It looked like it was going to be a no-gain play, but Bell showed his power, made it close enough. What do you think Mark D'Antonio would do here? Given his conservative nature, I would imagine he would punt. And, because if you go for it here and you get stopped now, it's only about 30 yards Nebraska needs to get to be in a game-time field goal.
Well, you have to punt the football. That's a smart play. And what's the best part of your team is your defense. You let the defense go out and win the game for you. Taylor Martinez has thrown 3 picks. The one thing you just don't want to do is give anything over the top, and they're pretty well coached and they're pretty solid in the back end.
Just joining us, Nebraska leading the Legends division of the Big Ten, tied with 1 loss with Michigan. Michigan won today to go to 4-1. They won at Minnesota without Denard Robinson, who was injured. Arm injury, did not play. Nebraska was in control of its own destiny, but obviously they lose today. That is no longer the case, and it also keeps Michigan State alive. They have the punt team out there. Nebraska has to make sure it stays on side. Low snap. It bounced back there, and it goes into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20. Well, it's been a season of nail-biters, close wins and close losses. Braxton Miller hit Devin Smith at Ohio State, 63 yards to put the Buckeyes up in the 3rd quarter. They held on. Riv Urban Meyer the win. Iowa, 2nd overtime. Greg Castillo, the interception to seal a 3-point Iowa win here. And then down the road to the big house, Brendan Gibbons with 5 seconds left, a 38-yard field goal that gave Michigan a 2-point win in that rivalry game. The Spartans bounce back to win the next week. They're 6-0 after the Michigan game. Mark D'Antonio has done a great job getting his team focused, win or lose, after that rivalry game. They need a field goal. They have a receiver wide open, a noon one. A big chunk on 1st down, 22 yards out to the 42. Martinez on target. He had thrown for only 95 yards for the game before this one.
Yeah, I have no idea what Darqueze Denard is doing. Understand the situation in the ball game. Deep is the deepest. You cannot let a receiver run free down the field.
Nebraska team that's used to working at a high tempo. Martinez. Oh, bad decision. Kept it, got nothing, and the clock will run. He got banged down by Max Bulla. The clock will be under a minute before they snap it again without any timeouts left.
Throw it away to stop the clock. Try to make a play with his legs. Got to make one with your brain. Throw it away.
Maher has a big leg, career long of 54. Martinez throws off the hands of Tyler Reed. A little bit high, but it seemed to be catchable. Would have taken a great effort by the senior. There's Maher, kicked a 54-yarder earlier this year at UCLA, the longest ever by a Nebraska field goal kicker away from Lincoln.
The guy that's been quiet, Sean, is the most explosive receiver for Nebraska, number 80, Kenny Bell. He's down here at the bottom of your screen working one-on-one with a tough Johnny Adams.
He's had only 1 catch in the 2nd half. 5 for the game. Spartan defense backs up. Martinez throws on the run. Knuckleball nowhere near a Cornhusker. And it comes down to this play. 4th and 10. If Nebraska does not convert, it's ball game over. And lead gone in their division for the Cornhuskers. They're 1 out of 2 on 4th down in this game.
Here's where Pat Narduzzi last time pressured Taylor Martinez, forcing him to make a quick throw. We'll see now what they decide to do, as Michigan State will take a timeout.
First for the Spartans. They still have 2.
30-second timeout.
They hope they don't need them.
You know, I think that's the play for Pat Narduzzi. You can still play safe and protect your back end And what they do well is they force Taylor Martinez to make a quick decision, and they're such good tacklers in the back end that if you force the hot throw, you come up and make the play. Ball game.
Pat Narduzzi, you hear his name more often now as a head coaching candidate. Why wouldn't he be? They've been terrific on defense here for several years. And they're one defensive stop away here from being bowl eligible for a school record 6th year in a row. Been a disappointing season, but Max Bullock told us yesterday we think that win last week at Wisconsin is going to be what turns it. We were due to win a close game that went right down to the wire, and we did. Will they win another?
Drop 8 into coverage.
Ooh, looked like they might have been offside. Martinez, there is a flag down. He has Kyler Reed inside the 30, down inside the 20-yard line. They're going to give him, where are they going to mark it? Looks like they're going to spot it right at the 20. Mylan Hicks ran him out. There is a flag now, but it looked like Golston was offside for Michigan State. If it stands, it's 38 yards, and at the very least, they're in range for a game-tying field goal.
Sean, that's twice.
Offside. Defense. Number 2. That penalty's declined. The play results first down. The runner is out of bounds. Clock will start on the snap.
You're going to see William Golston jump right here. That's twice in third downs where they dropped 8, and twice in third downs when they gave up first downs when they dropped 8. That's why I suggested that maybe they come with that pressure package, which they've had success with. It's a tough call to make.
Longest completion of the year to Kyler Reed. Now this would be a 37-yard field goal. They have to be careful with the clock. They don't have a timeout if somebody gets tackled in bounds. Short of the first down marker, they have to be alert to get up or run the field goal team on quickly. Martinez throws short of Kenny Bell. The last thing, obviously, that he wants to do is make another critical mistake in the red zone. He had a big interception when it looked like they were about to score earlier in this half, earlier in this quarter. Maher trying to stay warm, but the temperature now in the mid-30s.
Again, you see Michigan State being very, very cautious, only bringing 3 and playing coverage. Protecting that field, protecting that back line of the end zone.
Timeout Michigan State again on defense. Well, it might come down to the foot of Brett Maher, the senior veteran kicker. Missed a chippy earlier, 30-yarder. Wide right, his only attempt of this game. He's had kind of an up and down year. I mentioned he was the Big Ten place kicker and punter of the year last year. Just 12 out of 18 this year in field goals. Well within his range. We said it'd be about 37 yards from here. So I guess the question is, how risky do you get trying to score a touchdown and win it in regulation, or do you guard mostly for the field goal?
I play mostly for the field goal because of the 3 interceptions thrown. But the other thing I do, Maher missed from the hash. I make sure I get that ball positioned in the middle of the field.
Well, wherever he wants it. Generally, the kickers have a spot that they feel most comfortable. Here comes Ellsworth on the rush. He nearly got to Martinez, and the pass incomplete. Low, intended for Kyler Reed. Ellsworth, former walk-on, really become a factor as a pass rusher. Very quick off the line.
Absolutely. And Cyrils could not get to him. It's good pressure because Kyler Reed had Isaiah Lewis beat inside, but because the ball was thrown a little bit early, Taylor Martinez was off balance and one hopped it in to Kyler.
Well, they have to be really careful now. This needs to go out of bounds, or it needs to be a first down, because it's no opportunity to spike it. If you're tackled shy of the markers, you'd have to run the field goal team off. 3rd and 10. Martinez throwing the fade, and it is incomplete. Flag down on Denard, who had coverage on Kenny Bell.
First of all, it's the right call. You're taking your shot into the end zone, nothing in the middle of the field.
Well, they showed a replay on the screen. Mark D'Antonio could read his lips. That's not pass interference. How can you call
Defense
that?
number 31. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Menard's had a great day. 2 interceptions.
See him working one-on-one.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I don't see an interference. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's outstanding coverage. He's
Great
looking
coverage.
and leaning. They're playing the football, both of them. Very difficult call in a game-time situation. Tough.
There have been some big calls in this game. 15 yards. First and goal. And the last timeout used by Michigan State. They've used all 3 on defense here in the last minute of the game. I know the Nebraska folks weren't happy about that late hit out of bounds against Damian Stafford. They extended a Michigan State possession down near the goal line.
Everything's good right there. He's looking back for the ball, looking and leaning. It looks like, to me, Kenny Bell has the arm hooked of Denard. Denard doesn't have his arm hooked. Kenny Bell's hooking his arm. Wow is right.
9 penalties against Michigan State for 100 yards. Both teams have been penalized 9 times. Maher getting loose, but he's hoping they don't need him. First and goal, but no timeouts. The ball's on the 5, Chris. There's no way the running game is a factor here, right? You can't risk a run and you get tackled short of the goal line.
No, you can't. And you have to throw the ball into the end zone, and you can go the fade again. You also have Kyler Reed in there working as a tight end. There's a matchup with a safety or a linebacker. He's lined up right here as a tight end. That might be a matchup you're looking for in this situation.
Spartans crowd the line of scrimmage. Martinez, they come with a blitz. Martinez throws to the back of the end zone for Reed, incomplete. Out of the back of the end zone, Isaiah Lewis had coverage.
They tried a little double move on Isaiah Lewis. Good discipline by Isaiah, not looking back at the quarterback, keeping his eyes on the receiver, and running with Kyler Reed the whole way. That's the matchup we thought they'd go to. They went to it, but well executed by Isaiah.
And now will the Spartans blitz again, as they did on first and goal.
This will take your shot, Sean. I mean, your strength of your team is you're playing man-to-man defense. Here's a matchup I like right here on this play. Jamal Turner in the slot.
No timeouts left for either team. Second and goal. Corner of the end zone. Caught! Touchdown, Nebraska! Jamal Turner made the catch.
It's a matchup we liked. Why? Because he has all the field to work with. Taylor Martinez is thrown to a spot. Jamal Turner focusing in and does a good job. 1-2, yeah. Absolutely, got 2 or 3 of them down.
Continued possession all the way through. First touchdown of the year for Jamal Turner. What a time for it. 6 seconds to go. It's been an excruciating year for Mark D'Antonio. And this is the most excruciating. 1 play away, 1 4th down stop away from victory. Nebraska converted. Then they got the controversial pass interference penalty. And the Huskers are 6 seconds away from another come-from-behind win from double digits for the 3rd time in Big Ten play this year.
Well, here's why we circled it. Because they're man-to-man. He has all this room to work with. He's working on Mitchell White. That's one they like. Mitchell White takes away the inside. Jamal Turner has all that room to work with. Taylor Martinez, the thing that he's improved on is throwing to an open area, not to an open man. Delivers the strike to Jamal Turner, who does a good job of securing the catch.
Well, Bo Pelini made the decision to go for him the previous possession on 4th down and 9. They didn't get it. His defense got the ball back, and then his offense with no timeouts goes 80 yards in 9 plays in 1 minute and 14. The completed long fourth down pass to Kyler Reed, a key. And then the pass interference penalty that Mark D'Antonio will never forget. Put the ball at the 5. Jamal Turner the catch for the touchdown. The first touchdown of his Nebraska career as a sophomore. And you expect all kinds of laterals here. Nick Hill looking for help but going in the wrong direction. Ball still alive, but not any longer. And Nebraska retains control of its own destiny in the Legends division of the Big Ten. And the fans are booing the officials. Another excruciating loss for Mark D'Antonio, and victory was in their grasp.
Recyclable materials and debris receptacles located at Stadium. We hope to see you back at Spartans Stadium for Senior Day, Saturday, November 17th.
Here's Quint Kesnick with Bo Pelini.
Coach, what would happen on that last drive?
What didn't happen on that last drive? It was a crazy game. Proud of our kids. They fought hard. Give a lot of credit to Michigan State, too. It was a heck of a football game. You know, we made a lot of mistakes, and somehow we lasted and were able to make a play there at the end to win it.
Yeah, take me inside your mind. You go for it on fourth down. You don't get it. You may not get the ball back. What was going on in your mind?
Well, you know, we were going to win the game, you know, and I thought it was the right thing to do to go for it. And I figured we could stop them on defense, and we had all our timeouts left, so that kind of changed my thinking a little bit.
How do you best characterize the play of Taylor Martinez?
Big-time player. You know, I can't, you know, he played his butt off today. That's a lot of other guys, but three was big time today.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
He was enormous for most of the game on the ground. He rushed for 205 yards and 2 long touchdowns. He hadn't done much passing prior to that last drive. He had under 100 yards throwing, and he averages 223 a game. But he had a couple of big completions on that game-winning drive that they'll be celebrating long into the night around Lincoln, Nebraska. 28-24 the final. Sure to tune in to ABC tonight. More great action at 8 Eastern Time. Saturday Night Football presented by Windows. 24th ranked Oklahoma State, number 2 Kansas State. That's tonight on ABC. Now for Chris Spielman, Quint Kesnick, and our terrific ABC and ESPN crew, Sean McDonough saying so long from East Lansing. Now to the studio.